This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house!
Get out of the house! Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
Sports Grill on Bird Road, Miami Lakes, and their newest location in Doral is now hiring. If you're looking to join a great company and South Florida institution, give them a ring or drop an email. Sports Grill is hiring all kinds of positions from hostess to servers, bartenders, or join the kitchen staff to craft some great food for their amazing customers. Please send your resume to m.cruz@sportsgrillmiami.com or call 305-219-5726. That's 305-219-5726. Sports Grill. Good food, good drink, good friends.
Why is it that you get locked out in the worst moments of your life?
Where are my car keys? Man, I can't find my house keys.
In those frustrating moments, you need a locksmith you can count on. A. Lenny Locksmiths in South Florida, from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, A. Lenny locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business, car key replacements, and programming all model cars. 24-hour service. Call them at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
For over 16 years, EJDConstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDConstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Welcome to Red Light Therapy, a revolutionary technology perfected by NASA to aid in muscle strengthening and recovery. Red and infrared light has the capacity to penetrate deep into the cell's mitochondria, potentially leading to increased energy, faster recovery, and the optimal performance your body demands. Train, fight, recover.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com. Big O Radio Show is looking for partners to join our growing platform. If your business is ready to reach an audience that starts in Florida, crosses the nation while expanding internationally, this is the program that provides that vehicle. The Big O Radio Show is ready to broadcast live anywhere in the world to represent your event or product. To reach out by phone, 786-754-4664. That's 786-754-4664. Or email bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. Help us grow as we provide the content and personal connection corporate entities will never achieve. The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Good morning, boys and girls. Yes, sir. Ready to rock and roll. Oh, my head's kind of cut off there at the top. Hold on. Oh, we're back in studio there. That's more like it. There we go. See, now we've got the stickers above us and all that stuff. I can't have the UK Dolphin Club getting pissed at me and NorCal and all that. They send these logos. We're not going to cut them off. You know what I'm saying? So there we go. Now we've got the picture, the view that we want, and we're always living on the edge, which is always a beautiful thing. Anyway, good morning. Hope you all are doing well. Hope you missed Sean and myself on Friday. We were resting, recharging the batteries. Although, strangely, I was able to sleep on the plane a little bit. Although we had some idiot between us because Sean likes the aisle seats. I like the window seat. So whenever I get a flight, I try to get the right side window, which is my side, and not the left side. I like the right side window. And then Sean gets the aisle seat on that row if we're on the same row. And so plane was full. We were hoping that maybe, it wasn't as full, but it is Miami. I don't know, rarely do I ever get on a plane headed back to South Florida that it's not full because everybody wants to come here. But anyway, so we get some guy in the middle. That guy, first of all, got on the plane, was in the wrong row, was in the wrong seat. And then he kept pressing my button for my chair to go back. And I kept looking at him like, yo, dude, this is my button. You got a button over there. Like he was a goofball. And in fact, he was sitting in the E seat and he still kept looking at his receipt, trying to figure out why isn't it D and not E. And so his vision was also bad. Yeah. So we had some clown right in the middle of us. That is just, it's just terrible. But what can I tell you? It is what it is. I hope you all are doing well on a beautiful Saturday. We are good. We're in a great mood, obviously. Had a great Friday, charging the battery, relaxing, hanging out with the wife. So, yes, lots and lots and lots of smiles today. So let's just say 10 days in Vegas, man, 10 days away from the wife. That's not good. It's not a good thing. So when you get back, it's an active day is all I can tell you. So welcome to all joining us here on the program. Scott Primus was number 1 here on the chat board. Wow. Beating out Jamie Zoria. Holy crap. Out in San Jose. Welcome aboard. Billy Shaw is in. The Greater Good is in. Finn Fella is in. Kyle Cockrell. Hoping everybody has a great day. Dougie Fresh, he says the World Track and Field Championships are taking place now, and the results are in. Women pole vaulters are the finest bodies in sports. Damn. I mean, damn. See, now you got me. Now I got to go back to go see the women's pole vaulters to see what you're talking about. But I figure with a pole vaulter, I mean, they've got to have one hell of a body all the way through, right? Because they've got to power every muscle to catapult themselves. So kind of makes sense that they would have, great bodies. But I got to check it out now that you said it. These are things that now we have to go investigate and find out. So we will find out if women pole vaulters have the best bodies in sports. We will challenge Dougie Fresh here to see if that statement is correct. 6193 is in. Thank you, sir. Sage McKinley is in. It was rough getting through the day without you guys on Friday, but glad you guys are on today. Fins up. Thank you, sir. And thanks to all of our guys also switching over from Friday to Saturday. Very nice of them to accommodate also. Lisa Rose is in the house. Hello, Lisa. And let's see. What else do we have? And she says, Dougie Fresh, you are right. Booty and abs. Oh, no, that's great or good with booties and abs. Lisa says, Finn's family, Rockies report this week. Woohoo! So wait a minute, Lisa, you're a Dodgers fan. No, wait, you're a Rockies fan, a Suns fan, a Dolphins fan. Wow.
Hey, yo.
Or is that, oh, no, rookies. Oh, yeah, that's rookies.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
rookies. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, no, because she's all over the place with teams. So she probably would be a Rockies fan. So I don't know. What baseball team does she have? Because if she has Suns and Dolphins, she's got to have like the Milwaukee Brewers or something as a baseball team. And then her hockey team is probably, I don't know, Seattle, the Kraken. Because she's like all over the place. She lives in northern, in the northern part of the country, like in Rochester, I think it is, if I'm correct. And northern part of New York. And then she likes the Dolphins and the Suns. So I'm just, wait a minute. I think she's a Dodgers fan in baseball, actually. Yes, there it is. Dodgers. So she's Dodgers in LA, Suns in Arizona, Dolphins in Florida. That's awesome. That's awesome. Steven Gonzalez says, good morning, my peeps. Big O, love you, brother. Thanks. That's for giving us a show today. You're the best. Pissed off that every time Alcantara pitches, these crappy Marlins team seems to have, yeah, he gets no run support. Yeah, they're not a good team scoring wise. It's just what it is. This is what they are. They're not a good offense. And plus, without Jazz, they're even worse. They're bad with Jazz. Without Jazz, I mean, they're terrible. It sucks. They need to be facing really bad pitching in order for them to score runs. Yeah. I mean, look at tonight. Inter Miami takes on Charlotte at 8:00. They can't score if their life depended on it. Well, here's Pozuelo. They went and got one of the best players in the MLS, one of the best goal scorers in the MLS, because their offense sucks. And people go, okay, well, we got to stop Campana, and that's it. It's over. And the Marlins are the same thing. They did not spend enough on their offense. And this is the position that they're always stuck in right now. And we all knew it. I'm not telling you anything you didn't know. Most every Marlins fan, when we started the season, we all knew where's the offense coming from. We all kind of loved their starting pitching, right? Overall, we thought, okay, in the pitching department, they're fine. But we knew the hitting department was going to be a problem. And I know they just got back Soler, but it's not enough. It's just not enough. And this is the problem they're in. And it's a pleasure to watch Sandy every single day. Yesterday, it was 2 earned runs and 7 or 8 innings? What did he do? 8 innings yesterday, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 12 Ks. What the hell do you want from the man? It's a marvel to watch him pitch. It's awesome. It's a pleasure. It's real pitching. But the man needs support, and not from his teammates, from the ownership group. Teammates are doing the best they can. They are what they are. So it sucks. Feel bad for Sandy, but, he's getting paid. See, and this is where if you're Sandy and you're on this contract, the sands of the hourglass have started. You turned it over, and now you're waiting for the 4 years to expire of that deal. You're not going to sign another deal with them. If you're Sandy Alcantara at this point, why would you sign another contract with the Marlins? You're going to be in your prime. You're going to be, God willing, you stay healthy. You'll easily be one of the 5 best pitchers in the majors. Okay? I know for argument's sake, he might be the best or second best right now, whatever. But top 5 for sure. So top 5 pitchers in baseball are going to get paid a lot of money, and they're going to be wanted by a lot of people. And eventually, Sandy's going to want to win. So Bruce Sherman and company have a couple more years to prove to Sandy that they're going to, because they won't get to the last year of the contract. They'll have to trade him the year before that so they can get value in return. Once it's an expiring deal, rich teams will say, well, we'll take our chances and we'll outbid others. And Sandy will command a ton of money. So if I'm Sandy, okay, I'm telling ownership, well, clock's ticking. You need to prove to me that you really want to win. Because right now, I'm looking around and you're not proving to me that you want to win. So we'll have another Marlin walk out the door, and we won't have another Marlin play out his career here, and we'll never get a Marlin to go to the Hall of Fame, and we'll never build any kind of relationship between the players and the fans because you never keep anybody around. So if Bruce Sherman wants to be different than everybody else that has owned the Marlins, make a commitment to the team. Make a commitment like Viola and Sifu have made a commitment. You're a fringe sport. You want to go above that? In South Florida, you must commit. If you commit, they will commit. They support the Dolphins. Why? Because the Dolphins are always trying. No matter what, they're always trying to win. That sells. At least you're trying. People respect that. The Heat get all the support because they win. They don't only try, they win. Got to get it done, man. It's all on the ownership group. And we watch another Sandy outing go by the wayside, and it's not his fault. Those 10 days went by fast. 6193, it seems that way, but I was there for a while, man. When you're away from your house and your wife and your dogs and your family and all that, and my studio, it's there's a comfort zone also being in the studio that I love. So yeah, it's kind of tough. It's kind of tough. So luckily we had some things to do. Had a bunch of Morrissey concerts and we worked a lot. And God, waking up at 5 a.m. Oh my God. It's just, I don't want to do that anymore. I could never do that again. You know that? I could not work permanently and on the air at 6 a.m. I could not do that anymore. I wouldn't want to do that anymore. Put it that way. That messes up your whole day. You are sluggish the rest of the day. Just absolutely sucks. The Coon, thank you, sir, as he welcomes us back. Heat Fins. Let's see. Brooklyn Rob is in. Rosendo is in. Isaiah. George Ceballos. Is Sean wearing a wife beater? He's always wearing wife beaters. He's got wife beaters on constantly. Let's see. Lisa says, every place I want to live, LOL. Los Angeles, Phoenix, and my. Do you really want to live in Los Angeles now? Do you really want to live in California nowadays? Lisa, really? No. I'll visit LA and have a blast and get the hell out. But watching what's gone on in California and God, San Francisco has been just absolutely trashed. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't want to go to that state. That's terrible, 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 terrible leadership in that state. Ugh. I don't know. That's the one place I would disagree with you. Zona looks pretty cool. I know Florida's pretty cool. But California to live, visit, hell yeah. Get the hell out. Get your in and out, hit the Troubadour, get the hell out. Let's see. Bromar Smelly in. Keith Scott, did you see Skip and Shannon trashing us yesterday? I don't know. I don't watch that stuff, bro. So, and I don't really care what Baseless says and all that. It got on my TV actually while we were over there. I was, walking around packing all this, and I had YouTube going, and I was watching something on basketball with Woj and Windy and all that kind of stuff, and I just let it play, and then all of a sudden it went to Shannon and Skip, and I was like, oh my God, I had to take that off. So Keith, I'm sorry, I don't watch that. So I don't have anything against Shannon, by the way. I like Shannon Sharp overall, but I can't watch that show. I don't watch that or the Cow Turd, So you guys, when you ask me about that, I don't watch the professional trolls because that's all they do. So didn't see it, and I don't care. Tim Chuddy is in. Nelson Alfaro. Not true, Big O. I start working at 5 a.m. every day, done by 2, and have the entire day. Yeah, it's great if you want, but at 2 o'clock, you have to get some kind of a nap, bro. It's great that you stop at 2, but there's no way the second half of your day you're normal. At least I am not. When I was doing 5 a.m. shows that I would go on at 5, I was waking up at 3:30. They were terrible when I was doing the 6 a.m. shows, and I would wake up around, 3:30, 4 o'clock to be there by 5 or whatever. The rest of the day, you're dragging ass, man. I don't know about you, but it's terrible on me, man. Terrible on me. You have to get a nap, or if not, you can't last the whole day. You're falling asleep super early in the evening. So if you're able to stay up all the way through and stick through it, and then go to sleep at a normal time, 11 or something like that, and wake up again to be working at 5 a.m., you're amazing. So you're working only a few hours of sleep every day? Yeah, no, I no, can't do that. Especially when you do what I do, and you got to talk constantly. Your mind can't be tired. You can't be dragging. It's really, really difficult to do that. So there's no way I could do it. You're a better man than I am. I'll tell you that. Scott Primus says, I normally can't hit the chat board. I would be driving when I listen to y'all. Today, I'm in the house chilling. Well, thank you, Scott. Appreciate you chilling with us, my man. All right. I'm asleep by 9. Yeah, exactly. See, I can't do that, Nelson. I got to watch the Marlins game, the Heat game, the Panther game, the Marlins game, whatever's going on. I mean, normally Inter's on a Saturday, unless on a Wednesday game or something like that. But no, I've got to watch the sporting events, man. I got to watch the games. So it's like, and I'm constantly yawning, and it's the second inning, and I'm yawning, and it's the end of the first quarter, and I'm dying out, and I can't do that. I can't do that. So I'm up at 5:30, and I work till 6:30, 6 days a week. You're a maniac. You're a maniac, Isaiah. You are a maniac. You know what you probably need? A little redrecover.com. Because those of you who are waking up that early, you got to have some creaky bones. In fact, I was talking to Ed now, and I'm going to get the one for my shoulder now that I'm back from Vegas. Because Ed goes to me, do you have any pains? And I said, no, only my wife with the knees. And she's been using the Red Recover wraps for her knees, just like Sean. Sean didn't take his wrap to Vegas. I think he'll remember the next time. I'm pretty sure of that. With all the walking he did, his knees were sore, and he wasn't able to get the treatment every day like he was doing here at home. And it just gets the blood flow going. And I know because it's helped me grow my hair back. I'm in the process of filling out the natural yarmulke that we all develop as men. And so, and by the way, the hat is great for women too, whose hair is thinning out as they get later in age. And when we talk about red light therapy, man, listen, Red Recover, it's wearable red and infrared wraps. It has 3 different light wavelengths to help you optimize recovery and performance. Red Recover is 100% natural with no side effects, so it works great for the kids while they're running around getting sprains and strains. You can use that to help them recover. If you're working out daily, okay, I'm going to start working out myself now. For the soreness, I'm going to use Red Recover on the soreness. Hey, tight end Hayden Hurst, former first-round pick, he uses Red Recover as part of his daily recovery program to optimize performances. On Sunday, go to redrecover.com, check out the blogs, check out the video blogs, check out, by the way, his testimonial. It's there also. And Red Recover is ideal for anybody suffering from chronic pain as arthritis, neck, and lower back discomfort. Only 15 minutes daily will bring about tremendous relief. You'll feel better without using medication. Red Recover is 100% natural with no side effects, so even the kids can use it. You can use it for your dogs. You can use it for yourself. And you can use our code Big O to get 10% off. Go to redrecover.com. If you don't see the hat on the website, I don't know if they've put it on yet, but if they haven't put on the hat, go to contact us, send them an email if you want the hat to grow your hair, and they'll put you on the list to get the hat. Whatever questions you have, ask them, and they will answer it. They are absolutely very proactive, and they definitely respond to their customers. Redrecover.com. Use our code Big O to get 10% off and feel better as you recover from all kinds of injuries, sprains, and strains. Do you drink Cuban coffee? Of course, man. Yeah, I'm not an American coffee drinker, actually. Believe it or not, that's I'm not one of those guys. I've never really been much of a coffee guy, but a Cuban coffee, yes. I will take, not every day or anything like that, but I will drink Cuban coffee, take a shot here or there. When I'm smoking a cigar, whoo, doggy. Oh, man, that goes well. That goes so good with a Cuban cigar. Oh, damn, that is so good. Well, any cigar. Cuban coffee with a little cigar. Oh, that is just awesome. Love it. John Rouse is in the house. Oh, what hardware wallet did you use for your OK Coins? I've been using my Trezor wallet, sir. I moved everything over, including my Star Atlas. Yeah, baby. Yeah, I love it. Cadena, you have to get you have to go to Cadix and go to Cadena, and they will show you at the Cadena website where you can I don't know if you have Cadena. I'm sorry. I assume that. I'm sorry. But you can pretty much move everything. What I love about OK Coin, you could tell they're not having issues, just like Crow is not having any issues. They doubled their chain yesterday. Their blockchain grew double yesterday, so they can now have more transactions. So they're not having any trouble. I mean, they send me emails like, have somebody sign up and we'll give you $100. And they're adding more coins for sale. They're adding more coins on staking, even though their staking rates have gone way down. They're not that good anymore, but still, whatever. But I've been moving it off of what you use, John, is Exodus and Trezor. So Exodus is kind of your warm wallet. It's not hot. It's not exactly cold, but it's a warm wallet. You get your 12 names, and you have your keys. And then your Trezor wallet, since it looks like they're probably owned by the same company, what you could do now is open your Exodus right online, anytime, download the program. You can start offloading, order your Trezor wallet, order it directly from Trezor. Do not order it from a third party. Then when you get your Trezor wallet, you're gonna be able to sync them both. Okay, so you'll be able to sync your Exodus wallet with your Trezor, and you'll be able to move everything from Exodus to Trezor while you wait for your Trezor. Because it's going to take a couple days, maybe a week, to get your Trezor wallet. But you can do Exodus right now. You can just download it, get your keys, boom, start moving it over. They are, by the way, Exodus is a really good company. And they also offer staking rates. Like my Cardano, I'm getting 4.91. But while I'm getting them staked, it's all in my cold wallet on my Trezor. So it's not on a hot wallet or anything like that. So it's really cool. It's a good way of working it. You know what I mean? And you have options, and you can buy directly right there. You can buy coins directly on the Exodus and Trezor wallets. So it's also exchange too at the same time. So Exodus and Trezor is definitely an option for you. I mean, you can do your own homework if you want, and try to figure things out. There's all kinds of options for you, but that is one of the two wallets, by the way, that I'm using. Okay, so that's kind of the way I've been working the whole deal. All right, so there you go, my brother. Those will help you out. I don't know if I don't know, how many different kinds of coins you have. By the way, they even carry XRP, which I know, John, you're into XRP. So you can move your XRP into the Exodus wallet also, and Trezor. And they do and you get the higher one, the T, because that's the one that will handle also Cardano. It will handle more coins. So there you go. There's a little crypto advice for you. Jamie says, Big O, I agree. It's not for everybody. I go from 5:30 a.m. to about 11 p.m. every day, every weekend. Not sluggish in the afternoon, but I know it's not normal. It is what it is. Yeah, man. Wow. Big O, at this point, where do the Heat stand in any trades for anyone? So, let's talk a little Heat, because we've got Anthony Chang about to join us now. At first, we're going to talk to Anthony Chang about all those options. At first, I was, really concerned. I was kind of negative on the whole thing. Like, oh, man, I don't think the Heat have enough to make the Durant move. But then all of a sudden, one of the things that people talked about was that if Ayton does decide to sign an offer sheet from somebody else, then the Suns lose all their leverage. And they had a better package than Miami, and Durant wants to go to Phoenix or Miami more than anywhere else. But apparently now the Nets are underwhelmed with all the offers. The Suns now have lost the Ayton move, so they're not going to be able to make the Durant move. They can, but they can't offer what they were able to offer before. Plus, Sarver is a terrible owner. Okay, now he's gotten some really good people in the front office with James Jones and company, and they've done a marvelous job. But he's still a crap owner. And there's questions on how far he would go tax-wise as it is, and they're already a tax team. So we'll see. I mean, Sarver is one of those guys that's, most people don't even want him in the league as it is. So I don't know how much he would really commit. Is he as crazy as the people in Golden State? I don't know. We're going to find out. But that's the interesting twist there. Now that the Suns lost that Ayton card, and if I'm Ayton, I'm like, damn, dude, I have no control where I was going to go. So you were going to use me as a sign and trade and move me to Brooklyn, and then so I'm going to go to Brooklyn after Durant's gone and all that. Why, if you're Ayton, why would you want to do that? And then get all the heat from New York and all the fans when you're in a tough position as it is. It's not your fault. So go to Indiana, sign the deal, go to Indiana, and you know what? They don't demand the title over there. They kind of know who they are and what they are. They've got to trade for people. That's the only way they're going to be able to sign anybody or draft them, because free agents don't want to necessarily, so you're going to have to overpay. You have to do what you're doing with Ayton in order to build teams in certain places. But in Indiana, the fans aren't unrealistic demanding titles or anything like that, because they know what they are and what market they are, what kind of ownership group they have. So it's less pressure, less expectations. In Brooklyn, you have all the expectations because you're supposed to have all the resources, and you're in New York. You're in New York and you're in LA or you're in Chicago. I'm sorry, dude. You're expected to be really, really good. You're in a big ass town. You compete with a lot of entertainment. You better be good. In Indiana, you're not competing with a lot of entertainment. In New York, you're competing with the world of entertainment. And Ayton would be put in a terrible position because he doesn't know what's going to happen there. They're cleaning house in that place. So Miami now has a shot. It looks like it. We'll talk to Anthony Chang about that in a minute. So we will find out. Solana's staking now. Well, I'm not a Solana guy. I don't have any Solana. I've really never trusted Solana. And after all the shutdowns over the last year here, when they've been overloaded with transactions, it kind of scares me a little bit. But I understand it's a big ass blockchain, and it's got a ton of business. It's got a ton of NFTs. It's got the metaverse in it. Star Atlas, by the way, which I'm a big investor in Star Atlas, as I continue to scoop up Star Atlas. And now that I can move my Star Atlas from OKCoin, you could tell, by the way, that's the other thing I was going to say about OKCoin. You could tell they're not having any trouble because they're creating bridges so you can move your coins off the exchange if you want. That's confidence, because they just live off being an exchange, not a DeFi. So yeah. So I like Solana, but I'm very worried about Solana, but I have respect for Solana, how big it is, but it's had its issues. So I am not an investor in Solana, and their nodes are not decentralized. Clearly, they control them. So it's kind of defeats the purpose of what we're doing or trying to accomplish. All right, let's rock and roll. You wanted to find out where the Heat stands in their trades now? Do they have a better shot at Kevin Durant? Well, Anthony Chang will answer all. Next, right here in our Liquor Split Miami Heat and NBA report.
Let's tap into the latest with the Miami Heat and our Liquor Split app Miami Heat reports with insider Anthony Chang. Liquor Split is Miami's own online liquor store. Download, then tap the app and get your favorite liquor delivered to you for just $2.99. No risk, no drinking and driving. Tap that app with Liquor Split. Here's Anthony Chang.
Tap it. That's what it's all about. Tapping that app. Yes, sir. And remember, download it, iOS or Android. How you feeling? Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Big O. You jet lagged or you're back on track?
Oh, I'm good after a whole day and crazy. I slept 3 hours on the flight. And so I hadn't done that in a long time, slept that much. And I was able to, I got in some kind of a comfort zone, and maybe also, 10 days of waking up early, it just builds up to, because over there you wake up 3 hours earlier than normal. So I was just talking about that, how waking up at 5 a.m. just effed me up every day over there. I don't want that job ever again, bro. Not doing that.
It's not made for everyone. I'm still I couldn't go to sleep like 3 a.m. the last 2 nights. I'm still like on West Coast time. It usually takes me about a few days to adjust.
Yeah, no, I feel good. I had a really good day yesterday, so it's I feel good, and good rest and recharge and everything. So
good.
All right, so let's get into it, because let me tell you, dude, I was negative. I was, depressed, because I was thinking, they got no shot at this. And I know the Nets are saying now, well, we're not satisfied with any of the offers, and that's fine, whatever. That's all. That's kind of part of this game, and I'm fine with that. But the Ayton thing all of a sudden now gave me some hope now for the Heat, because the Suns have lost a lot of firepower with that move in signing with Indiana. And now they had to match it. And so now they are tied, and they're a cap. Now they're paying tax and all that. So explain to us and to Heat fans out there how Miami has now maybe a better chance at getting Durant, because the Suns have put themselves at a bit more of a disadvantage.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. I mean, Kevin Durant reportedly wants to go to the Suns or the Heat, right? Those are the two teams we know of that he would like to go. He's interested in joining. DeAndre Ayton was seen to be Phoenix's top trade chip. He's a young center, rising star. Say what you think we want about him, but he's a good player, really good.
Oh
player.
yeah, he's a damn good player. Yeah.
Now after signing into that, matching that offer sheet, they can't trade him until January 15th. And even after that, he has veto power. So he has to approve any trade. So if Kevin Durant's getting traded this offseason, DeAndre Ayton can't be part of the deal. He's not eligible to be traded. So now, and they're not trading Booker or Chris Paul. So now who's their best trade chip? Is it Mikal Bridges? Now all of a sudden, I think the Heat might have a better package, or at least compare, at the very least, even. So
and if they're able to move Simmons, even better, because then they can move Bam.
Sure. Although I get the sense that the Heat are trying to do this.
Right.
I know it seems unrealistic, but I get the sense that they're trying to do this without including Bam or Jimmy in the deal, which, I think that's part of the game right now. The Heat
that's
going to go so far, and
that's their big three. Right.
Yeah, the Heat are willing to go so far, and the Nets obviously want it all for Kevin Durant. So we'll see who blinks first.
So we haven't heard. See, here's the catch-22, because Sean Marks obviously caught everywhere in Vegas with every different GM out there.
I saw him with you, Big O. He was talking.
Yeah, even with everybody. Me, he was talking a little bit there, and yeah. So, but we were talking more about Australian life and things like that, actually, is really what we were talking about, mate. So, it's just one of those things. So, anyway, you look at everybody wants to make this move. And for Miami, the question is, if Durant has any kind of control here, which he does have some control, because he definitely does. Yeah, because listen, Kevin, Detroit's offered us a package. Well, he could call Detroit and, hey, my agent will tell Detroit, go F yourselves. I'm never playing for you guys ever, so don't bother trading for me. So he basically can kill any trade off because he can tell a franchise, I don't want to be with you guys. So that really limits what the Nets want to do. And if they want to force the whole issue of keeping him there, that's all. This is a guy that he's kind of like a petulant child. You know what I mean? So that's not going to be a happy situation for him either if you keep him. So how long does this drag out? Because I know for the Heat, they're going to be holding this steady pattern, but does this hurt them preparing for the season if they keep waiting? Remember what happened with LeBron? That he waited till after the moratorium to tell Riley, and then Riley lost out on a shitload of options to improve the team. He could have gone in a completely different direction, and he couldn't at that point. He was locked. So I'm wondering, how are you trying to improve for next year if you keep waiting for Durant and options dry out? So how long does this thing last?
I know. I don't think. I know the talk is the Heat are waiting and they're going to lose out and the team's going to be worse next year. I mean, what else could they have done? I guess the other possibility is if they weren't going to get Kevin Durant or even try for Kevin Durant or Donovan Mitchell, they could have just re-signed PJ. But other than that, they had no cap space. I mean, maybe they could have offered TJ Warren, but I mean, that's a lot. That's a marginal move. The free agent class this year was not good. There wasn't any top free agents you were going to get. They didn't have.
And John Collins and Miles Turner are still there.
They're still there, but
I really want to. And Jay Crowder is still there. Robert Sarver is not a cheap owner. Let me just say it. Let me just say what it is. He's already a tax team. That's another thing that people, that's the other caveat to this whole discussion. Not only did the Suns lose leverage now in this trade for Durant, they also became a cap team. Robert Sarver isn't known as a guy that really likes to spend a ton, so you're already taxed. How much higher does he want to get into the tax? Maybe he wants to lower that. Maybe by getting rid of Jay Crowder, that will save him some money on the tax. So I could see them still moving Jay Crowder. So those are three options that are still left for the Miami Heat.
Yeah, so I don't think the Heat are losing out by much by waiting. I mean, this is Kevin Durant. Like, you go all in for Kevin Durant. It's not like they missed out on, Bradley Beal was available and he was going to come to the Heat, but you missed out on him. There was none of that. They didn't have cap space. It's not like their cap space now is not going to be used for anybody because they let it, they're waiting on Kevin Durant. I think they're making the right move. Are they better than they were last year right now? No. But you take that chance. Are they much worse? No.
They weren't a championship team either way, but the Durant move can make you.
Yeah, it takes them over the top. Right. And I'll say this, even if they don't get Kevin Durant, even if they don't get Donovan Mitchell, I still don't think they trade for Jay Crowder or John Collins, because they're not going to waste a trade asset like a first-round pick. You see how many first-round picks you need to trade for a star these days.
Yes.
So you're going to let go of one of those picks for Jay Crowder? Probably not. You're probably holding it for the next star becomes available, because there's always a next star becomes available.
Right.
We see it every year. So I would imagine if the Heat don't get one of these stars now, they'll probably sign Udonis as the 14th guy, and they'll move forward and hope that by February, by the trade deadline, somebody else becomes available, because that's what it's about. You have to trade. You have to save your chips for the right move.
Cap for Life on the text line says, I'm starting to think that maybe Spo really can't identify with the center spot, being that he always struggles to have good depth in that position. We can run and gun, but we just can't dominate the paint. Cap for Life, how many guys dominate in the paint? He makes it sound like this is the 90s and the 80s or some shit like that. What is it? Embiid, Jokic?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
No, we're missing one more. There's at least one more guy, big guy that can dominate in the paint that I'm missing. I know
Karl Anthony Towns is not a guy who dominates in the paint.
No, he's actually developed a
Rudy Gobert, maybe.
Yeah, but I'm talking about skilled.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about big Galoot that he's so damn big that he's just dumping it over people. I know we're missing one more guy that's pretty active in the middle that can. Ayton. Shit, man.
There you go. We were just talking about.
Yeah, man. I just like, holy crap! Like, what are you doing? Oh, let's go. So this is in the 80s and the 90s. Cap for Life. They don't grow on trees anymore, bro. This isn't Robinson and Olajuwon and Ewing and Alonzo Mourning and Shaquille O'Neal. That's not this league anymore. You make it sound like centers grow. Either you get a Bam that's kind of a defensive guy that can help you facilitate, or you get that 3-point softy that's more on the outside, like a Miles Turner that we talked about, that he's really not going to help you in the middle, be a force, but he'll stretch it for you. He'll get you a couple of rebounds here or there, but he's not really a force in the middle. That's kind of what this league is. Right? I mean, would you disagree with that, Anthony? It's rare to find that complete guy in the middle.
Even Embiid and Jokic. I mean, now I think Jokic is Jovic. I'm like all messed up, by the way. Embiid and Jokic, they shoot threes, right? I mean, shooting is a big part of their game as well. So it's a different game. It's a totally different game than used to. I mean, even Bam, I would say Bam is still a top 5 center in the NBA probably when you consider defense. There's a reason why he's third or fourth in defensive player of the year voting, all defense, and always getting votes for all NBA. He's one of the top 5 centers in the NBA.
His struggle is actually post center.
Sure.
With those, like, he can't cover Embiid and Jokic in the post. That's the only place where he's really not. He's actually below average in that area. He's not even average.
He struggled with Jokic this year defensively, but against Embiid in the playoffs, he did pretty well. But also
not in the post. Not in the post. He gets put. Well, listen. He had a hand injury and a face injury.
Yeah, that's why. So that's the caveat. Embiid was about 50% of himself.
Yeah, and he still dominated. So that's the only area that I would say he's not even close to being elite. Everywhere else he's elite, but not. But again, there's only 2 or 3 of those guys in the league that you have to put up with because they just don't exist anymore. Sure. We don't produce it anymore as a society because the game completely changed already at this point. And big guys themselves, they want to dribble, they want to shoot, they want to handle more. It's just one of those things. It used to be a novelty. Oh my God, did you see Shaquille O'Neal take the ball all the way across the court? Oh my God, Alonzo Mourning dribbled 3/4 of the way and passed the ball. Whoa. These are things that were like freakish. Now it's just normal to see a big guy that can dribble and he's 6'10" and mobile and all that because the game has changed. It just has a different demand to it. And those kind of guys are freaks.
Yeah. And defensively, you kind of need a guy like Bam to survive. Look at Rudy Gobert. Right. Yeah, he's a great rim protector, traditional big man, but in the playoffs, he gets run off the court because guys just isolate him and he can't guard in space.
Right, so and then they bring him out, and
it's over.
And guess what? He's too late to bring him out with the barrels in his mouth. So
yeah.
So you can't, man. So that's the problem. All right. So what's next? What are we waiting for here? Kind of because Sean Marks came out, the report come out that he's not impressed with anything, that he'd rather keep him. We know that that's a bunch of crap. Eventually, he's got to move him at one point or another. What's next?
I'm sure they would love to keep him if they could, but I just don't see that happening, right? If Brooklyn brings back Kyrie and KD, they're probably still one of the best teams in the East if both those guys are available and playing. But yeah, I would imagine that I just can't see Kevin Durant opening the season with Brooklyn next year. But I do think this is going to drag out. I mean, Brooklyn has time. They have 3 months, 2.5 months before camp starts.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to happen today. Probably it's not going to happen tomorrow. This isn't a thing that this is going to drag on weeks. Like Brian Windhorst said on ESPN yesterday, after Summer League, when Summer League ends this weekend, this is the time executives go on vacation. Like this is their time off. So right. I would not be shocked if it gets quiet for a few weeks, guys are taking their time off, and then maybe in August, September, it starts picking up again. I really think this will be something that drags because it is not an easy thing to resolve. Brooklyn wants, like we've talked about, Brooklyn wants the house. KD wants to play in a championship contender. There aren't many teams that could trade the house and still remain a championship contender for KD. So it's like finding that happy balance of you're giving up a lot, but you're still like the Heat. If they give up, Tyler Hero and all these other pieces, but they keep Bam and Jimmy, they're still a title contender. Yeah. If they give up Bam and Tyler and just bring KD, they're a good team, but I'm not gonna, they're probably not the favorite for a championship just with Jimmy and KD.
By the way, somebody's asking, John Collins is only 24. He's already a young star. Pull the trigger. One more time. The John Collins moves or the Jay Crowder or the Miles Turner or any of those moves will not be made until the Durant move is decided. They are going to make the move that makes them a championship caliber team. When that move to make yourself a championship caliber team cannot be made, then the Heat will follow to plan B. But plan A, they're still on plan A, ladies and gentlemen. Stick with the plan. Stay with your wingman, okay?
Don't let go of the rope.
Do not leave your wingman. Stay.
Don't let go of the rope, I suppose.
I'll say this. Go of the rope. Every cliche we can come up with, you have to stay on the Durant move because that's the championship move. John Collins does not make you a championship team. It makes you really good. Maybe you could get to the finals, but it's not for sure. With Durant, you're in the finals, and you got a shot at the title. So first Durant, then we get to Miles Turner and John Collins and Jay Crowder and all those other options out there. Okay, so now let me ask you this, because that's the other thing that I'm sure is going to come up on the chat board. So while you're making the Durant move, Durant is actually superseding the Donovan Mitchell move, correct? Because that's what it seems like to me.
Yeah.
Is it seems like Donovan Mitchell is headed to New York, plus they're going to give up 5 or 6 first-round picks. 4 of them are unprotected. They're going to give up a couple of the young guys. They're not going to give up the guys like Barrett that they have to give money to in a year from now. So Utah doesn't want to take in money, actually, in all of this. They not only want to trade Donovan, they want picks and super young players. They want nothing to do with giving away any money right now. So they're in a total rebuild. So explain to people out there that it kind of seems like, again, it's Durant, and Mitchell is not the piece because why? You have to give up way too much and it's not worth it, correct?
Yeah, we know what Danny Ainge likes, right, in his trades. He only makes a trade when he feels like he has a huge advantage. We've seen it with Boston. Where they got all those picks, and he loves picks. The Heat have 2 right now to give up. They can open up a third, like we've talked about, by changing the protections on the pick at OKC. That's 3 first-round picks. I mean, New York has a ton. They got for 4, 5, 6 first-round picks.
They have 7.
Yeah,
they have 7, and they're going to trade apparently 6 or 7 of them. I mean, 5 or 6.
If the Knicks want to do that, you let them do that. That's a lot. That's a lot to give up.
They're desperate,
a very good player. Donovan Mitchell's a very good player, and I get what they're doing, but I mean, what are the Knicks with Donovan Mitchell and Jalen Brunson? I mean, they're maybe a playoff team, right? A play-in team, maybe a 6 seed,
definitely.
But they're not a championship contender. It's like you said, you make the move that makes you a championship contender.
Although I saw New York writers say that they make that move. They're a top 3 or 4 in the conference. I was laughing. I was like, dude, don't be a homer. Come on, bro.
Yeah, I mean they're better. They're obviously better than they are right now,
Yeah.
but I don't think they're not on the level of Boston, Milwaukee, or even
By the way,
Miami.
so Tibbs is so good as a defensive coach. He's going to make 2 undersized guards.
Yeah,
All of a
it's gonna be
sudden
tough.
become great defenders. Get the hell out of here, bro.
It's gonna be tough. I mean, look, the Donovan Mitchell move would make the Heat a very good team, probably the second or third best team in the East, I would say, if you're not giving a Bam or Jimmy. But the KD move makes you probably the favorite for the championship. So that's the difference right there. And
well, at least you can challenge Golden State for it. That's the way you got to look at it. I don't know if I would say they're the favorites, but at least they're favored to get there. And I don't know about winning it all because I got to give I'm afraid that the Warriors are going to get better next year because Kuminga looks good, Wiseman's back, and Klay Thompson.
Clay's going to be better.
Right. He only played half a season, man. We're going to see the real Klay now this year, I believe.
Yeah.
And that's scary. Scary.
Yeah. No, that's very true. And another point is when KD says you're one of the teams he wants to go to, you have to see that through, especially when Phoenix now is not in great shape to make that deal.
Yeah.
So I totally think the Heat are making the right call here. I think it's too big of these guys don't come available very often. They're in the game. He has interest in coming here. You got to see it through and see what happens.
All right. One more thing before I let you go. I was impressed with this kid on Wednesday. I didn't get to watch him on Friday. I'm on live, but I saw it on video. But Jamal Cain, he came in on Wednesday right away, and he had that drive to the right side of the basket where he had contact and made the shot and made a couple of other plays and kind of opened my eyes a little bit. Because he's a long, lanky kid, right? Because body-wise, he doesn't necessarily impress you. Right. But then you watch him and the effort that he was giving, and that's the part that kind of impresses you, that the kid kind of plays fearless a little bit. And so some of the news that came out of it yesterday, he got an Exhibit 10 contract, which now he gets a camp invite. Tell us a little bit about the youngin.
Yeah, it's interesting because he was really good in that first game in San Francisco, and then he got COVID and was stuck in San Francisco for a week and has played, I think, in the last 3 games now in Vegas. This is a really athletic kid, has bounce, as Malik said, defensive versatility. If you watch Friday night's game against Toronto in Vegas, he switched on to almost everybody on the court, was able to stay in front of him. So just that kind of mold of a player that the Heat like. Versatile, has athleticism, and now it's just about kind of defining developing other parts of his game. So it makes sense. I think what he did, he's gonna compete for one of the 2-way contracts, just like Orlando.
I think you wrote he's from Kendrick Nunn's school too, right?
Yeah.
Oakland.
He went to Marquette for 4 years, and then he spent his final season at Oakland. Yeah, Kendrick Nunn school. Yeah. So maybe the Heat will have more success at Oakland University. I'm not sure. We'll see.
And he's tall too, right? He's like
6'7". 6'7". Yeah, he's a forward. He's pretty much a power forward in today's NBA. He's just versatile, plays bigger than he is because of his athleticism. Needs to put on some weight. Obviously,
50 pounds of muscles on
needs to put on some weight. Well, that will be a big part of his development for sure. But he definitely has flashed. In the few games he's played in Summer League, he's already flashed.
Yeah. I saw that, and that caught my eye because he caught my eye on Wednesday night.
Yeah.
When he came in for a few moments, I was like, oh, all right, nice to see it. And the bench kind of went crazy too. I got to sit right behind the bench for the game, so kind of see how everybody's, going through the dealing with everything. By the way, I asked the Heat, they couldn't give me the number at the moment. What do they have, bro? Like 50 people travel with the team? Like, it's a lot of people, bro. Like
also,
Holy
also
crap.
Vegas, as you know, there's a lot of meetings that week. Trainer meetings, there's GM meetings, there's coaches meetings. So a lot of people have to be there in Vegas just for that stuff.
It's like the Senior Bowl in the NFL was what it is, that everyone is there from the entire organizations. They're all there, and then there's all kinds of different kinds of meetings and things like that. Yeah, you're right. Happens a lot also in Senior Bowl where you get that, and the Combine a little bit too. Also, you get that. So yeah, that's where I was impressed with Vegas. That man, each team brings, and the amount of people that are there. It's It's impressive. The only thing we got to add is air conditioning on the outside of the city, like all over the place. That's the only thing we need to add. You know what I'm saying?
I'm in for that for sure. I think that'd make it a lot better.
Were you there Thursday that it rained?
No, I wasn't there Thursday.
Dude, it rained all day Thursday, and I swear to you, it felt like it was a cool summer breeze at 92 degrees walking around.
God.
Yeah, it was like we're walking around going, wow, this feels great. All right. And we look, it's 92 degrees, but since you're at 107 and 110 and 113, 92 is like, wow, this is good, because there's no humidity there. So it's not so bad,
Yeah.
So it cooled down the whole damn place. For
everything is relative. And that explains, I was looking at when I was taking off, as I left Thursday morning, I looked at the Vegas airport for some reason and said there were 1.5 hour delays that day. So I'm guessing maybe it was because of the rain. They're not so not used to rain that delayed a bunch of flights.
So. Yeah, luckily we were leaving at 1 a.m, so our plane. No, but now I have learned this now. Okay. Have you been delayed on your flights lately?
Thankfully, no, not lately.
Oh wow. So you're like Sean.
I've been lucky. I've been lucky.
I now have learned that Sean is the travel charm because he doesn't get delayed. I got delayed, but he has not gotten delayed. So I had the same flight on the way back with Sean, not that way. So now I know that I have to have Sean on all the same flights with me because he is the travel charm. Because he just doesn't get delayed, bro. It's awesome.
Him or me. I mean,
now we know Anthony Chang and Sean Stanley are the travel charms. It's amazing. It's amazing. You are awesome. All right, my brother. Appreciate you as always. We will catch up next week, my friend, and we'll continue talking a little Heat.
Thanks, Big O. Have a good weekend.
You got it. There you go. Anthony Chang and our liquor split, Miami Heat and NBA report.
You're now tapped into the latest with the Miami Heat. This has been the Miami Heat Liquor Split Report with insider Anthony Chang. Download the Liquor Split app and enjoy your favorite drinks at wholesale prices. Delivered right to your door in minutes with a flat fee of $2.99. VIP lifestyle without the VIP prices. Tap that app with Liquor Split.
All right. There we go. And don't forget, download Miami's own liquor store. Yes. And by the way, you use the code Big O Show. Big O Show on Liquor Split. You will get 15% off. Those of you Coral Way, downtown, Coral Gables, Westchester, Liberty City, Brickell, Miracle Mile, West Miami, Cocoa Plum, Fountain Blue, Flagami, Coral Terrace, The Roads, Little Havana, Little Haiti, Key Biscayne, El Portal, Morningside, West Little River, Doral, Edgewater, Hialeah. 15% off. You're watching the Heat. You're watching the Dolphins, the Marlins, the Panthers, the Canes. Today, Inter Miami, and you're living in those towns. Get it, baby. Liquor Split. Download the app. Use the code Big O Show, and you will get 15% off. All right? The fact that Miami is signing many Summer League players shows they're going to trade Gabe Strus, Duncan, etc., OKC for some first-round picks to use for Durant. I doubt those guys are going to bring in first-round picks, my brother. I don't think that's the case. And Duncan's is used for a salary, my man. You need Duncan to move or a trade, because if Durant's getting paid 35, you need the 18 or 19 that Duncan makes to kind of take off of that number. And then you're going to have to add another salary. Those Strus guys, all those guys make no money. So those things aren't going to get you that. You don't have a right read on it, Jose. Marlins lost yesterday to the Phillies 2-1. As Sandy was outstanding. Today, Max Meyer makes his debut. That's actually really cool that the rookie is actually going to make a debut today. That's going to be fun to watch. Now, he won't get any run support just like Sandy, but, it is what it is. So we'll find out. 277 start and 35 starts in the minors. You know what I was thinking of? If this could become the Max train. All right, we had the Dontrelle Willis deal, right? We had the D train. Well, now let's get the Max train going. Right? That's what we need. Maybe he's here to give us part 2 of that fantastic run that Dontrelle Willis and the Funky Chicken had back in the day. That would be fun. But that does add intrigue to today's game at 4:10. And by the way, I want to thank the South Florida sports teams for accommodating a true sports fan like myself and lots of you, because those of you that are watching and downloading and all that, you're hardcore. But now we get our Marlins at 4:10. Game is over. Then we got the soccer game at 8 o'clock. So I like that I don't have to split and have to watch a little Marlins on this side, Inter on that side. I get to focus in on Max, see the rookie make his debut. I mean, this kid, Max Meyer, is a stud. So let's go. Let's see if you're going to give me another stud on this staff. I love it. And then tonight we get to see Alejandro Pozuelo make his debut. MLS MVP last year, traded to Miami. They need offense. They need goal scoring. That's what that dude does. With Campana, I am excited. You know, with Dukes running around and Lassiter and all these other guys. I like this team. I love Calendar. I like this youth injection that they've got going on. And now you add a proven goal scorer who's still young enough to give you a few more years. I love what they're doing. So hopefully this will add, because they have enough time to get into the playoffs now. So with Pozuelo, if you can win tonight against Charlotte, man, that'll be exciting. Be awesome. Let's build it up. This is a good Saturday today, man, with some sports. Love it. And a little sports talk. And guess what's next? Hour number 2, Omar Kelly kicks it off right here on the Big O Radio Show.
Welcome to Red Light Therapy, a revolutionary technology perfected by NASA to aid in muscle strengthening and recovery. Red and infrared light has the capacity to penetrate deep into the cell's mitochondria, potentially leading to increased energy, faster recovery, and the optimal performance your body demands. Train, fight, recover.
The Big O Radio Show is looking for partners to join our growing platform. If your business is ready to reach an audience that starts in Florida, crosses the nation while expanding internationally, this is the program that provides that vehicle. The Big O Radio Show is ready to broadcast live anywhere in the world to represent your event or product. To reach out by phone, 786-754-4664. That's 786-754-4664. Or email bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. Help us grow as we provide the content and personal connection corporate entities will never achieve.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. The Big O Radio Show is home for the hardcore Dolphins fan. That's why we give you Omar Kelly twice a week. Buckle up. It's time for the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins Report, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show.
There we go. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend, Omar Kelly. How you doing, baby? You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm sorry if I'm sweaty and dirty. I'm doing some gardening. You're my intermission.
That's all right. Not a problem with that. We respect the work. Although you need to call Cutter's Edge, bro. I told you we got to get you hooked up there with the whole landscaping thing.
Make it
Although I
happen.
don't know. I don't know if you want to use it for exercise or something, man. You know,
I
it
do
isn't-
generally, but sometimes projects are too big for me, and I do need some assistance. This was one of those projects, but it's done now.
All right, good for you. All right, I like that. So let me ask you something. Is the NFL going to allow the Houston Texans to just skate by? This report now came out. They have agreed to a deal with 30 women, not 20, not 22, not 24, not 26, not 28, but 30 in a LeBron James voice. So this is 30 women. They have now agreed to a what's that called? It's that confidentiality agreement and all that. They paid 30 women to go away. How does the NFL let this slide, dude?
I have no idea what you're talking about because
Oh, you don't?
No idea.
Oh, let me fill.
I have zero idea what you're talking about. Literally.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, okay. Here we go.
Woke up,
the Houston Texans, to settle with one woman, had to get sued. Had to sue the team over former quarterback Deshaun Watson's alleged misconduct, and with 29 others who had not yet sued, had no impact on the Watson case, but the claims came against him. 4 are still pending. Based on the Houston settlement, which is up to 6 who could still sue him, are not affected at a deeper level. The good news is that if and when the cases go against the Texans go to trial, Watson won't get dragged into litigation as a witness. He would have been potentially questioned under oath in advance to each trial, and he undoubtedly would have been called to testify at each and every trial. So the Texans now, on their own, because those women were going to sue the Texans because they were facilitating Watson's behavior. So the same women that were suing Watson, which is now up to 30, are now suing the Texans. The Texans quickly settled with all 30 women, and they paid off all 30 women. So now and obviously Busby came out with a statement and all that kind of stuff, and talked about the whole thing. I can read the statement for you.
No, I'm good. I'm assuming, just assumption, that this is about the non-disclosure statements or whatnot.
Yeah, the NDAs.
NDAs.
Yeah. And they were facilitating the facility too. They were like, okay, this place, and then here's the NDA.
Well, hold on, wait. But that's the thing. Players often use outside masseuse at their facility. But yeah,
but they were the ones telling you, okay, do it here, and here's an NDA and all that kind of stuff. So they were they're facilitating it on top of it. So basically, they were part of it. So I don't know if that's when you're paying this off, it's basically because you're guilty.
No, I disagree. A lot of times settlements are to make something go away.
Not in this case.
How is it not in this case?
The Texans, they know they're guilty, bro. They're paying them off so they can shut everybody off.
We had this conversation on I Am Athlete about athletes and masseuses. Brandon Marshall, during his career, would get a massage 6 times a week. He'd fly in masseuses to training camp.
Same ones.
No, he had about, we went through that. He had about 12 masseuses.
I saw that. It's the same ones.
Yes. Guys would call him when they're coming to town for a game and ask him for a masseuse recommendation. Another guy on I Am Athlete tonight, he said he'd do 4 to 5 massages a week. And, then there's a massage before the game that he'd use an out-of-city massage. And obviously, he'd have to use the rooms provided by the team. He'd have to use the facility.
Legitimate massages.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure some of Deshaun Watson's massages began as legitimate massages, and then he wanted you to do other things. So just because you use the facility and a team gives a masseuse therapist an NDA, and you don't exactly know all that's taking place during the massages or Deshaun Watson or anybody else's behavior, and you pay to make it go away, that doesn't necessarily mean I'm guilty. A lot of times big businesses like an NFL team, which is worth billions of dollars, they settle just to make things go away.
Yeah, but in this case, is that what your gut tells you, bro? Really?
I don't think.
Does your gut tell you the Texans just want it to go away, or do the Texans know, holy crap, this thing has gotten way out of control?
I think the Texans want everything Deshaun Watson to go away.
Of course.
I think they just want everything Deshaun Watson to go away, and
because they're guilty. Because they're guilty in this case.
I'm not.
I agree with you in general that there's a lot of these cases that famous people just pay to go away because it's just worse to keep it going, and it's better off to just pay it and go away, and it dies out because people forget. I would agree with you wholeheartedly on that. But in this case here with the Texans and with Deshaun Watson and the mess that this whole thing is, this is just a whole bunch of guilty people just trying to cover their asses. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way I look at this case here. That's all. That's what I see.
I don't know how I'm paying these people to go away is an acknowledgement of my guilt that I knew what Deshaun Watson was doing and I turned a blind eye to it. I can't say that. Now, did they possibly know the accusations made on Deshaun Watson and then start giving them an NDA, which is what I believe initially happened? Yeah. And does now me giving Deshaun Watson an NDA because one woman accused him of doing something inappropriate, does that create my guilt? To some people, maybe. To other people, you're just covering your booty cheeks.
Yeah. Yeah. To me, I think the Texans know that they're in a whole lot of trouble, and they're trying to cover it up as much as possible. This is just another way so that they didn't waste any time. You know what I mean? And like 4 of the defendants are like, well, at least the Texans acknowledge, whereas Deshaun Watson hasn't acknowledged what's gone on or whatever they were talking about. So this is a big ass mess. And the question, this all gets back to the league. And so is the league better off trying to sweep it under the rug? Because if they go after the Texans, it looks bad on them. If they go after Stephen Ross, it looks bad on them. If they go after Snyder, it looks bad on them. These are all things that could, put a real damage on the Shield. So does the Shield try to sidestep all of these different situations? Because these are all hot topics that this league has to deal with, and they don't want any of this juice coming out to the public. Any of the Brian Flores stuff, any of the Daniel Snyder stuff, and any of the Watson stuff. We're talking about, man, this is all damaging information for this league. So it's going to be interesting to see how they try to balance and hide as much as possible, because you hurt yourself by actually investigating and penalizing these 3 teams or individuals.
You know what's so funny? We're going to sit here and we're going to obsess about these Deshaun Watson and Daniel Snyder and John Gruden and all these
Flores
and all these sensational scans and Steve Ross. And the reality is, September 14th, 15th, 16th, whenever they kick off the football and start playing regular season games, nobody's going to give 2 farts about any of this.
1,000% right. You're right about that.
Until we get to the end of the playoffs, and then we start free agency all over again, and then we're in the dead period of the off season, and we're in the slow period of July, and we get sit and twist in the wind about, is Daniel Snyder going to be deposed? And, how many games is Deshaun Watson going to be suspended for? And then we're going to kick off, and nobody's going to get 2 farts. That's why
you are correct, but it's still there's still ugliness,
and that's why
horizon.
There's been
what I'm asking you is how creative will they be to try to
you know what's ugliness? Ugliness is denying players from the 1980s and on healthcare benefits for the things that they suffered throughout their career. We look the other way. Ugliness is the opioid crisis that the NFL has encouraged and pushed for 3 decades.
But don't smoke a joint. No, don't smoke a joint now.
Now they can smoke a joint. Now, but pushing pills and oxycodones to players and creating addictions.
Don't smoke a joint. Yeah, here's oxy.
Ugliness is the physical abuse that players have engaged in on their bodies for decades, practicing contact practice for weeks, basically destroying their bodies. And we look the other way till they file a lawsuit. And the bottom line of all these things, the NFL is ugly. They do ugly, dirty things. And when we kick off on September 14th, 15th, 16th, whatever date it is, nobody's going to care. That's why it's a $16 billion business.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there. You're 100% right that's going to be, but it will be interesting to see how the NFL sweeps it under the rug, because I guarantee you they don't want to investigate any 3 of these things.
Ugliness is the Robert Kraft getting, having sex in a massage parlor and they make it go away, getting caught on video doing it.
Right, that's right. Not only that, they got the tape. They got the tape seal, dude, which normally you and me, it would have been out in public.
You don't take on billionaires. That's the one thing you learn.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And that's why
they lawyer you to death.
Watch these 3 situations and watch the NFL sweep it under the rug. That's what's going to end up happening, because they cannot actually go after all these 3 situations, because if they do, they hurt themselves in the process. You know what I mean? That's what happened with the Ray Rice thing. The video came out. They probably knew about that video, but they thought it wasn't going to get out. And then when it got out, then they had to really put the real suspension on the kid. And then, all hell broke loose. So I think same kind of situation here. They're going to try to cover up as much as possible, and they're going to try to sweep it under the rug, because they know that this will expose the league in a bad way. All right, what are we expecting with rookies reporting this coming week?
Nothing. Name me the rookie that you're expecting something from.
Tyndall?
Not really.
I am. I think he'll contribute right away on special teams. And I think eventually in the second half of the season, he will be a much bigger part of the linebacking core. I think Eric Azukama is a kid that is very intriguing because of the end arounds and all that kind of stuff that they did with Debo. I think they're going to do some of that with that kid, because he's a big physical target.
He's got to learn the offense.
Of course. It'll be all piecemeal with him. But I think he might be able, because of that, Omar, because you have your Tyreeks and your Waddles and your Cedric Wilsons and your Gesicki's and your Mosterts and your Ingalls. You already have the guys that are pros. They know what the hell they're doing. So Azukama, it's a beautiful thing, my man. You only have to teach him 3 or 4 things. He only has to practice 3 or 4 things, because he's only going to be used 1 or 2 ways. So he won't have to know the whole playbook, because he's only going to be a situational player. So they can piecemeal him and build him up slowly, because they don't have to hurry him up. But because of his physical nature, I figure he would be used in the run game. And I think he would be used a little bit in a Devontae Parker type of situation, where you have the big body downfield. That's all.
He's not that big, but I hear where you're coming from. He's bigger than the rest. But
dude, he's big. Isn't he like 6'2" or 6'3"? It's a big receiver.
6'2", 206. I've looked at him.
Receiver.
I've looked at him. Preston Williams is a big receiver. He's not a big receiver. I poured over this rookie class, and you knew what it was. You knew the sacrifices you made to get Tyreek Hill.
That's fine.
There's nothing here. Rookies are just going to go through the motions.
Wow, you say there's nothing. I like those 2 guys.
Yeah,
I like the two guys.
I think they're intriguing.
Yeah.
Will they have an impact this season? Like Jalen Phillips or Javon Holland or
How about will they contribute? And I say
teams?
yes.
Special
Anything. Anything. Yeah,
Special
special teams. I think Ezukama will be used on offense.
We'll see.
As the season goes on and the kid gets comfortable, they'll use him in a couple
there are
of
too
places.
many. There are too many receivers, too many weapons for him for rookie to be.
That's why I like to use him a little bit because
I'll wait to see what he does in training camp before I sit here and
right,
say.
right. You're right. You're right about that. You're right about that. But I'm just saying that the way I see him and what I've watched in the highlights, maybe they do use him occasionally in a set here or there. And I'm intrigued. Now, Tyndall is the guy that I'm really, excited for because they need a linebacker badly, and they need a guy that can.
They have a lot of linebackers. They don't have a guy who can do it all, and I'm struggling to figure out what is his strength, what is his forte.
Sideline to sideline. That's his forte.
And let's hope he can cover. Let's because they certainly could benefit from a coverage inside linebacker. Let's hope there. Let's start.
And by the way, what was the last middle linebacker they had that can run sideline to sideline? The way you need it in this league.
You mean with intelligence?
Yeah. Think about that.
I Kiko Alonso, but you don't like him. So
he would run himself out of plays constantly. So no, of course not. I don't like a guy that runs himself out of plays, dude. You got to be Junior Seau or Palomalu in order for me to accept that. And they did it, but the impact plays that they made on top of that were amazing. Kiko, he got lucky once in a blue moon and made a play, but yeah.
This team hasn't had a good linebacking core since Carlos Dansby.
But they really have not had a heat-seeking middle linebacker.
Carlos Dansby was dope.
Pretty good. Yeah. He only struggled in coverage. That was the only thing.
I don't even remember him struggling in coverage, but
no. That was his weakness.
Yeah.
He couldn't cover.
He was impactful. He was definitely.
But he was. Yes. You know what? I would say that. And then before that, it's probably Zach. They haven't had a lot of guys that instinctually can fly from one end to another, that they know exactly where it's going to be. That has been few and far between over the last 20 years. And Zach has been one of the few guys. That's it.
No question about that.
Yeah, it's been rough.
There's a lot of good linebackers out there in free agency. Anthony Barr is one. I don't think they're gonna touch any of them, but I can definitely see this unit getting watered down by injuries and them having to call a guy. And there are a lot of quality linebackers out there. Now they're not going to add any because they don't want to piss anybody off, but they should consider it.
Well, they've got a lot. I think at this point you got to wait for an injury because you're already loaded.
Yeah,
already. You've got your max.
Are you loaded though? Loaded.
Well, I'm saying you got the numbers now. The numbers are there.
You got the numbers.
You're at 90
to make room. All right.
Because you have to also think of special teams, and then you have to think of situationally.
All right, that's fair. I can't really.
Some are outside, some are pass rushers, some are run stuffers.
Yeah.
So when you break it down, Omar, it's not that
easy body to cut. So
exactly.
I guess I'll give you that.
Yeah, you got to wait for injury, buddy. You got to wait for injury now at this point because you made your bed. Now you got your guys, what you're eyeing and what the responsibilities are and all of that. And some guys you have to acquire, you know how it is on linebacker or D-back or something like that, or even running back, the back end of it, because the guy's an exceptional special teamer. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, you might be able to get situationally a better position linebacker, but he won't help you out on special teams. So then your back end of your whatever, linebacker, whatever, is weak with special teamers. And that's kind of the balance that you have to have when you're deciding all those spots, defensive back and linebackers. That back end of it, you have to have some guys that can fly around on special teams. You have to. You have no choice.
No doubt about it.
So that's where you might think of an older linebacker that might be better for you, but he doesn't help you out on special teams. And that was like last year. What did we complain about the freaking receivers on this team? Like the back end of your receivers, like none of them were doing special teams. So why are you keeping all of these guys around? You cannot do that. And that's just poor roster management when you do stuff like that. And they did that last year, and they did it too much. And that hurts you, man. So you've got to think about special teams. That's what I loved about Jimmy. He respected special teams, that he made sure he had players on that side of the ball so they can excel.
Core guys.
Yeah, core guys that were there. And I always think that really is important when it comes to special teams. All right, what are you working on this week at the South Florida Sun Sentinel, my friend?
We've got a series of columns going to launch, I think, starting 16.
Tomorrow? Oh.
I think so. Primarily, I am focused on piggybacking on one of our conversations. Who's going to step up as the leader of this team? We already know that Tyreek Hill and what's his name, Teron Armstead, they were signed here to be leaders. We know that Landon is a leader, but who wants to lead this team? Who's going to raise their hand and say, "Hey, I'm going to be a leader"?
Tua's going to be a leader this year.
Who?
Tua's going to be a leader this year.
Yeah,
sure.
Let's hope he doesn't stand up in front of the team and say, "Hey guys, I'm already going to be a leader. You don't have to vote me a captain." Okay, cool, thanks.
Yeah, he's going to be the leader anyways of the team already at this point, because this is his team now. Now he's got the carte blanche to be that. He couldn't be the leader last year. Not with that, not with the a-hole in the way. But go ahead. What else are you working on?
What is all this work? I'm working on my garden right now, brother. Like stop stressing
bitch,
me.
You got listeners right here watching you and then downloading later on. They want your ass working behind the typewriter.
We actually
tell everybody you still do typewriting, and then you take a photocopy of it and then you send it to your editors and piss them off. Tell them how you still do it.
In I Am Athlete, we have we got a really good episode. Asante Samuels, who was so disrespectful to the Patriots and the Patriots way and Bill Belichick, and makes an argument because Asante is one of 3 players in NFL history that has 50 interceptions. 2 are already in the Hall of Fame. Why does
he's a hell of a player, dude?
Huh?
Hell of a player. He was a hell of a player.
He was a hell of a player. Might not be your personal style, but he got the ball. And
he's awesome.
He makes the argument, and I think Asante Samuels is one of the most underrated players of his generation.
Hell of a player. That's all I remember from that guy.
Yeah, interception. 51 interceptions in his career.
Stud, bro. Yeah. He's a baller, bro.
Hall of Famer?
I would say, yeah.
He's been passed up.
If you're gonna put Steve Hampton in the Hall of Fame, I'll put him in the Hall of Fame any day of the week and twice on Sundays.
He's never even made the
Steve Hampton was a heck of a player for the Bears, but I don't think he was really a Hall of Famer. But hey, whatever. He was part of a great defense. I get it. So go ahead. But if you're gonna put Steve Hampton in there, I'll put Asante Samuel. No problem with it.
Yeah.
Go look at Hampton's numbers.
I don't even know who Steve Hampton is, so I'll take a look at him.
I'm old, so don't worry about it. It's all right. It's all good.
It's all good, bro.
It's all good.
I'm getting old too.
Old farts.
My wife just brought me some mangoes because I gotta eat healthy.
Mangoes, awesome, bro.
Yeah, no, mangoes is awesome.
Mangoes are freaking delicious, man.
Yeah, we're almost at the end of mango season, man.
I know.
It's gonna be tough out here.
We're blessed that we can actually grow the damn mangoes here, bro.
We're gonna have to eat Argentinian and Panamanian mangoes, which are
that's right.
What we got to do.
All right, so are the articles going to come out every day of the week next week?
Yes.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yes, sir. Every day of the week, 10 days leading up to training camp start, the official start. Not when rookies show up, because nobody cares about when rookies show up. There's no rookies doing crap.
I care. I went to the NBA Summer League. I care.
You did.
I care about all youngins. Yes.
Hey.
That's part of your foundation for the future.
Let me ask you this question.
Yes, sir.
Now that the Phoenix Durant trade is kind of dead,
right?
Do Heat become the front runner, and do you want to make it happen?
Oh no, of course I want to make it happen because the Durant move makes you a champion. Makes
Okay.
you a championship contender. Any of the other moves, you have the potential of getting to the finals. But with Durant, you have a potential of winning in the finals. So I'm doing
Anybody?
everything I can because he said he wanted to go to Phoenix or Miami. Now Phoenix has lost a little of their juice. So Miami can give the better package now. So the question is, of course, there are other teams that can give way better packages in Miami, but Durant doesn't want to go there. So now the question is, how ugly does it get between Durant and the Nets in this trade?
You
Because
trading
if they,
Bam?
I would happily trade Bam for Durant. Yes, not for Donovan Mitchell in Utah. I'll trade you Tyler and Duncan for Donovan Mitchell, but I'm not trading you Bam for Donovan Mitchell. But I'll trade
So
you
you
Tyler and Bam. I'll
you
trade you
trading
Tyler and
Tyler?
Bam
Let me ask you, Tyler, Hero,
and
Duncan,
Bam
and Bam for Durant and picks.
right now.
All right, cool.
Right now. I'm not worried about Duncan. Nice kid, but I'll replace you with Strus in a heartbeat, dude.
Yeah.
And he plays defense, and he's a better player. So I have no problem. Duncan to me is like the best move because it's like $18 million of money that you can move.
Yeah, but that
You know what I mean?
everybody wants to throw Duncan away. Yeah, they're gonna probably be like,
Because
yeah,
they can produce shooters, man. The
you can
Heat
keep Duncan.
produce shooters. Yeah, I like Strus, man. Strus for me is a better player than
Absolutely.
Duncan. You
And
know
I
what I
don't
mean?
worry about Pat Riley not being able to draft players because Pat Riley don't care about draft picks.
No, he'll find guys.
Absolutely.
He'll find them off the street, dude, and develop them. So that's I'm not worried about that. And so yes, Durant makes you a super. That's why you make the move for Tyreek Hill, bro, because they are just game changers.
Mm-hmm.
And they change everything you do.
Is Durant
makes everybody better. Jimmy Butler was going to love having Durant on the team because everybody has to worry about
culture.
Yeah. He's an asshole and all that stuff, but he's always been a worker, Omar. He plays good defense. He plays both sides of the court. No. Durant is a professional on the court, completely unprofessional off the court now, but completely professional on the court. Yeah, no. He's a Heat player. Yes.
All right.
Yeah. You got to watch out with his burner accounts and all the silliness that he does outside because he just worries so much.
If he comes down to Miami, he's going to need a good barber. Don't they have the dude that goes all over for the Heat and the Marlins and the Dolphins? Kane's barber.
Yeah. We got a great barber.
I'm trying to get him on Tua, man. I'm trying to get him to Tua because sometimes Tua's haircut is a little bit off.
Well, I don't know if you know this, but like in Oakland, in Las Vegas, they walk over to Mark Davis and they put a bowl on his head and they cut for Tua. It looks kind of screwed up because it's a coconut, and so sometimes it's uneven and all that. So it doesn't come out right. It doesn't come out right.
Whoever's cutting his hair, they gotta get that fade right because sometimes it's got a coconut looking cut. You got to get that fade right. If you're gonna be in South Florida, you got to get that fade right.
It's as long as you don't look like Sam Bankman-Fried, but he's like this, 8-time billionaire. So you can look like that. You know who that is? The FTX CEO?
No, I don't know who that is. Yeah.
No. I don't know. Sean, can you pull up quickly a picture of Sam Bankman-Fried? Okay. Sam Bankman-Fried. So this is the guy, by the way, as you know, where the Heat play, it's now called the FTX Arena, which is a crypto exchange. It's owned by him, Sam Bankman-Fried. So this guy is, a filthy billionaire. I mean by filthy, like he has many, many billions is what I mean. Okay. He's a nice guy. I'm not saying he's dirty or anything like that, but he is a billionaire like you would never think of. And look at that dude right there. And that's the dude he walks around with. Can you focus it? Can you give me a?
Oh wow!
And let me tell you, that dude is in actually it's in pretty good shape. That one right there. There you go. There you go. See, when you're a billionaire, you can walk around with whatever effing hair you want, bro.
I want to see his lady.
I've never seen him with a lady. So this guy is only making money. That's all he's ever doing. He's just printing money. Prints more money. Yeah, look. All the pictures he's pulling up. So that's your funky hair of the day, Sam Bankman-Fried. So now you learned something. Okay.
Yeah. And y'all tell Tua that he needs to get with Kane's barber. Stop getting the Super Bowl haircut.
The coconut bowl haircut.
Yeah, coconut haircut.
Yeah, it's hard to cut a coconut perfectly in half, so they don't get it right. So it's just one of those things. All right, follow him on Twitter at Omar Kelly. Subscribe to the South Florida Sun Sentinel. Catch him on I Am Athlete. He'll be on again next Friday, correct? Or are you on the next
I'm on next week. I don't know what days yet, but yeah,
okay.
On Sirius Channel 82.
We'll tell you on Tuesday when he's back up. We'll tell you on Tuesday. We got you covered. Oh, as always, enjoy the gardening, enjoy the mango. Much love, my brother. We'll catch up next week.
All right, enjoy your Saturday, bro.
You got it. There you go. Omar Kelly.
You've been listening to the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins Report with Omar Kelly. For additions, home remodeling, or custom work, call Eric at 305-433-4843. EJDconstruction.com is the custom home builder and general contractor you can trust. 305-433-4843.
Construction, major home remodeling, EJD Construction will get it done for you. 305-433-4843. They do it all for you, folks. They will help you with cost analysis. They will help you with your architectural drawings. They will also do a bid set for you, a full set of architectural drawings that include the site plan, mechanical, and plumbing. They will assist you in establishing a budget for your construction. So please call them and tell them that Big O sent you. 305-433-4843. All right. Dougie Fresh says, oh, I see your Sam Bankman-Fried and raise you the hair of Raiders owner Mark Davis. That's, well, I was, bad hair is bad hair. That's what I was saying. Whether it's a bad bowl cut or an out of control fro, it doesn't matter. Whatever, I always like the fros that are tight. All right. I like the guys that know how to handle their fro. White or black, I don't care. But they have that fro that's tight and it's nice and it's shaped up perfectly. That looks sharp, dude. Friedman's hair is like all over the place and weird. And it's like he just gets up in the morning and I'm good. Let's go. That's what he does. God bless him, bro. He can do that. I can't get away with that, man. Most of us can't get away with that. The Mark Davis one, I've got no explanation for that. That's just, I don't know where he even thinks that actually looks good. You know what I'm saying? At least, with the Sam Bankman-Fried thing, it's kind of a thing to have kind of like crazy wild hair a little bit. But I normally notice it with guys that have short hair, not long ass hair like Sam. I get that. I've seen the young guys. No, the weird part is, by the way, some of you folks that are in your 50s and 60s, you walk around with the rooster cut. I don't know. I'm just saying. Some of you can't carry that look. I just want you to know. I see some guys like you're in your 50s or 60s and you're wearing those skinny jeans. I get it, my man. You still want to be young, but you're not young. Act your age. Give it up. Let it go. You're not young. Oh, man. I'm bald and wouldn't want Mark Davis's haircut. No, I'd rather be bald than have Mark Davis's haircut. No, I'll go bald. There's nothing wrong with bald. Bald is fantastic, I would imagine, because there's no hair. You don't have to worry about anything anymore. You know what I'm saying? You get up and that's it. It's, hey, all right. You save a ton on shampoo. It's fantastic in that sense. But yeah, it's either have hair or go bald. But don't ruin your hair with Mark Davis's haircut. Yeah, I'm with you there. Super V says, good afternoon, Big O. Are you still on the West Coast? Does that look like West Coaster? I'm just saying, does that look like a West Coaster? Do you see behind me what's going on, huh? All there? You see all that there? Yeah, Armando V. Haven't you seen those old guys with skinny jeans? It's like, yo, dude, you're not skinny and you're old. That's for young people, man. Take it easy. Take it easy. Se te fue el tren. Anyway, you want to get in on the Welt and Rheaume text line? That's 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056. If you want to get in on the Welt and Rheaume text line, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there. Manny Navarro is set to join us in any minute now. And then we'll have Cameron Wolf at the top of the hour. One guy says, oh, my God, no show on Friday. I didn't know that God had a day off. LOL. Love you, brother. Jeff from Long Island. Oh, man. Thank you all out there, man, for being so supportive of the show. I really appreciate it. Really do. Really do. Let me see what the damn market is doing. I haven't checked in a little bit here. I checked early in the morning when I woke up, but I haven't checked lately to see. Markets, wow, it has exploded. Ethereum is up 11%. It went up over 1,300, almost to 1,400. Wow. Holy shit. What did Bitcoin do? Bitcoin's over 21,300. I don't understand these pumps. I mean, I'll take it. That's fine. I mean, I still would like a little bit more buying time. But yeah, and I woke up this morning, Star Atlas was climbing too, which is a beautiful thing. Man, all right. Interesting how the market is riding. By the way, anybody see that that video going out of the two kids in the little toy truck, and then the cop pulls up behind them and they're playing that song Riding Dirty, and the kids run out of the little car? I saw that and that was hilarious. Sad, by the way, to really, when you look at it, it's kind of like pathetic to a certain extent that those poor kids think that way already at that age. But again, society has brought them to that depth. But it was funny. I gotta say, it was funny. Whoever mixed it and saw the video and then put Riding Dirty with it. What is it? Chameleon or whoever it was. What's the name of the kid that sings that or something like that? Big O, did you rock butterfly collar shirts and bell-bottom pants in the 70s? Who didn't? Of course. I had the bell-bottom pants. I had the designer pockets. You had like pockets that had colors and different stitchings and all that kind of bullshit. Yeah, of course, man. Sergio Valenti's and yeah, bro, of course. Not Sassoon. I always thought that was more for girls. You know what I mean? But yeah, we grew up with those tight pants for girls. You know, you have yoga pants now, right? That's kind of the thing. But for us back in the day, it was a girl in a tight pair of Sergio Valenti's. Ooh, doggy. You knew you were on the prowl in the Midway Skating Center. All right, Manny Navarro in our Caneswear Miami Hurricanes report is next.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. Time for Canes fans to get what they want. Information, insight, and perspective. It's the Caneswear Miami Hurricanes Report with Manny Navarro. Exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. Here's Big O and insider Manny Navarro.
Sir, time to talk to the man that sports the satin shirts and the double belts better than anyone ever. Manny Navarro. How you doing, my friend? You doing all right?
Doing great, brother. Just visiting my parents up here in St. Augustine, spending a little time with them before we head up to Georgia for our family vacation.
All right, nice. Where are you guys going in Georgia?
Blue Ridge. Got a cabin up in the mountains, and we'll be up there for about a week, so it should be fun.
Okay. Yeah, that's nice, man. Blue Ridge Mountains. I like that. That's the plan, Stan. I like that. I like it. All right. So talk to us Canes-wise. What has developed this week? What have you picked up from that whole stadium stuff? Has anything come from that so far?
Well, I mean, it's interesting to see what John Ruiz and his people are, designing in terms of the vision for Tropical Park and potentially what a stadium there could look like. But, again, I think we're so early in this process and I've yet to really hear anything from the side where, they're seriously entertaining any of this stuff in terms of moving forward and taking big steps. I think it's nice to see the render.
Importantly, what about on the city side? Forget you. Before you can get excited, what do we know about the city, the county being? I don't know. Does the county get involved in this, or is it just a city thing? I'm not smart enough for that, my brother. I
think Tropical Park is part of the county.
Okay.
So I mean that would require the county obviously agreeing to it, and then of course because they're under contract at Hard Rock Stadium. What year was it through? Is it 2032 or something? I forget what year it is, but
I think it's 35. I think you said.
I thought it was 30. I thought it was another 10
no, you
years.
would know more than me.
I think I'm trying to remember because now with the realignment contracts, I have all those numbers in my head, right? The ACC and the grant of rights. So the grant of rights for the ACC is through 2036. I think the stadium deal is through 2032.
Yeah, you're probably
right. So anyway, I mean, there's 10 years left on that contract with the Dolphins, and so there's a lot of hurdles to be passed, but Ruiz and his people are trying to sell the vision of what they see Tropical Park being. But there's a lot of other steps to get to before anything really happens.
All right. The class recruiting rankings. Now, again, caveat, we hope these kids are still committed by the end of the year next year.
Yeah.
We hope they don't end up transferring after their freshman year because they don't like what position they're in and what depth they're in or whatever. So having said all that about recruiting, the rankings continue to fly up, man. It seems like every other day you guys are reporting about a newer 4 or 5-star guy committing.
Yeah, it's really been an incredible run they've been on basically since about the middle of June. They've got 14 commitments. I think right now they're 8th in the country in the rankings. They had gotten to as high as 7, but other teams are obviously adding players too, so it's always sort of changing when those other schools add commitments. My intel suggests that there's 4 guys that they're probably going to add here in the next week or so. 3 of them that already have sort of announced their the dates that they're going to make their commitments. Olaus Salinen, the 4-star offensive tackle, was one of the first visitors in June, a kid out of Finland that we've talked about quite a bit. He's going to announce on the 22nd. Jaden Bonsu, a 4-star safety out of New Jersey, he's going to announce on the 20th, which is Wednesday. So next Wednesday, Bonsu. Friday is Alinen, and then the 23rd is Malik Bryant, who's a 4-star linebacker out of Orlando Jones High School. He played at Bradenton IMG Academy the last 2 years, went back home to his Orlando school. Those 3 guys, I'm told are probably going to pick Miami, and these are victories that would go head-to-head over schools like Ohio State and Alabama. So more big wins here sort of expected for Miami. And then the other one is the 5-star offensive tackle, Samson Okunlola, a kid out of Massachusetts. There was a whole bunch of crystal balls, the 247 guys projecting him, the On3 Sports guys projecting him as well. So all stuff that I've heard myself independently talking to people on that they're very confident with those 4 guys. If they get those 4 guys, it'll be the best. It'll already be the best recruiting class without even without even, you know, the full allotment, the 18 guys, they get those 4. It'll be the best recruiting class Miami's had in the modern era. You know, since all these other networks sort of started putting things together in the last 15 years. So, you know, Mario's just kicking ass, man. They're in it for a lot of different guys. Jonel Aguero is another one, a 5-star safety out of Massachusetts who played down here. You know, Hispanic kid whose parents bonded with Mario. It's either going to be Miami or Georgia for him. So, you know, this is going to be a signature class. Oh, and you know, there was a report. There's a guy who puts out this blue chip ratio percentage every single year. I don't know if you've seen these reports in the past, but
no.
Essentially, it's how much of a percentage is your team blue chip recruits. And if you look at it, like Alabama's 87%, Ohio State's 81%, Georgia's 84%. Like they're all ridiculous. And then the rest of the country, like Miami's 55%. So if you're going to win a championship, you got to be way up there. And that's the one thing I kept telling people throughout all this, because everybody loved to point the fingers.
Kept mentioning that all the time.
Yeah, and Mario, I mean, that's his gift. His gift is recruiting. You have to be maniacal. And for years, people are like, "Oh no, it's the player develop." No, man, like you got to get good talent in the door,
and then develop it. Of course, you still have to develop it, but you're not going to make the 1-star guy play like a 4-star guy. It's just not going to happen, bro.
No.
Now, yeah, there'll be some 3-star guys that'll slip through, and you can make them pretty damn special. But more often than not, your coaching can only take you so far. And the one thing I will say about recruiting now compared to back in the day, less are getting through the cracks because there's more film than ever. Everybody can put stuff out nowadays. Everybody has the technology now to record everything and put everything out. Back, you know, just 5 to 10 years ago, you know, smaller schools, you weren't going to get good film. You weren't going to really know too much about the guy. Nowadays, everybody's on ESPNU or this or that or ESPN3, and everybody's got cameras and everybody's got digital cameras and everybody can record every type of play and game that goes on. So now it's a little easier to target all these guys. Whether you're accurate or not is one thing, but you're still able to target these guys a lot easier nowadays.
Well, and I would say what's also changed is, you know, like the 7-on-7 team, the South Florida Express. I mean, they travel all over the country to play in tournaments, and you know, a lot of these kids are visiting Ohio State 2 and 3 times from South Florida. You know, they're going to LA and visiting with, you know, Lincoln Riley out there. So it's not like there's some big gap. These relationships start early when these kids are young, and so they're national recruits since the 9th, 10th, 11th grade, and that's a huge advantage for those other schools where before they didn't get a chance to develop those relationships until these guys were juniors and seniors.
Yep. One more thing before I let you go. Rosendo is asking, Manny, according to college football expert Phil Steele, the Hurricanes entered the 22 season with the 4th most experienced offensive line group in the country. Do you agree with Mr. Steele? And then I would add, how good can they be?
Yeah, I think, look, they've got 3 bona fide starters, you know, DJ Scaife, Ja'Kai Clark, and Zion Nelson. They've got other guys who've got experience, like Justice Olawasun, the kid who transferred last year from Houston, started a few games. So I think maybe in terms of starts, they probably are the 4th most experienced. But, you know, I think this offensive line right now is just as good as last year's was, because I didn't think last year's was that bad. I thought, you know, running the ball, they obviously could have been better. And you know, but pass protection wise, they did a pretty
They gave Van Dyke time to throw. Yes,
he had time to throw. So it's been an upgrade over the few previous years when they were among the worst in the country, right? That said, I expect it to be much better in the ground game. And you know, will they be the 4th best offensive line? I don't know. I mean, Alex Mirabal, you know, he'd have to work some miracles, him and Mario at that position, because you think of great offensive lines, you think of, you know, the Alabamas, the Georgias, the guys that just maul you up front and run the football down your throat. I think they're going to be better coached. I think you're going to see more combo blocking. And I think you'll probably see a top 3 or 4 offensive line in the ACC. I don't want to call them top 3 or 4 in the country. I think that's an overreach.
All right, don't forget, folks, go to caneswear.com if you don't live in the area. But if you do, go to 2511 South University Drive in Davie. Get an Inter shirt for the game tonight. Get a Marlin shirt for the game tonight. Get some Canes wear. They got everything and anything with a Canes logo. There's Dolphins gear. There's Miami Heat gear. There's Florida Panthers gear. Brett and Company, they've got it covered. And, of course, you can order online. All orders over $99, you will get free shipping. Follow Manny on Twitter at Manny_Navarro. And, of course, subscribe to The Athletic. Great way to keep up with the Canes. Manny, as always, thank you, my friend. Have a fantastic weekend. Enjoy the family. Enjoy the vacation. We'll catch up later on.
Thanks, brother. Take care.
You got it. There you go. The great Manny Navarro and our Caneswear Miami Hurricanes report.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at Caneswear.com or InterMiamiWear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Just saw this breaking news. NASCAR legend Bobby East was fatally stabbed at a gas station in California last week, and police are still searching for the suspect in his killing. The three-time United States Auto Club national champion driver, Silver Crown and Midgets, died Wednesday after being stabbed in the chest at a 76 gas station on Westminster Boulevard in Westminster, California. East was a phenomenal USAC national sprint car, as well as most notably on pavement tracks. He tallied 15 wins in the series. Okay. Westminster police is searching for the suspect, Trent William Millsap, who fled the scene before police arrived. Wow. Jesus. Terrible. Poor guy. Not the way you want to go. That's for sure. All right, if you guys want to get in, 855-912-1056. That's our Welt and Rayom text line. That's 855-912-1056 if you want to get in. Cameron Wolf is set to join us at the top of the hour, so we'll have a little fun with him. So the Suns match the DeAndre Ayton offer. So now, does that open the door with the Heat? We're going to find out. We're going to find out now. And the interesting part is, how much will Durant stir this up? Because it's only a matter of time till they unload Kyrie, right? They don't want anything to do with Kyrie. So you're going to be left there, and you don't want to play with Ben Simmons. You know, you don't even know if that team is going to be able to get anything out of Ben Simmons. He just looks like a guy that, soft as hell. And so how much will he stir it up? Because he's not going to want to get traded to a crappy team just because they can offer the world. And that crappy team, when they find out that he's not going to be happy being there, he's going to be disgruntled, they're not going to trade for him. So Miami now has a real in. The question is there a sleeper team that comes up like Golden State or, I don't know, Memphis, or, a team that's really good, and maybe they can come up with the kind of trade, and all of a sudden he says, yeah, I'll go back to Golden State. Memphis sounds like all right, I could play with John Morant. Yeah, let's go. Something like that. Does something come out? Because it's not going to be Detroit. He's not going to go play at Charlotte. He's not playing in Orlando. Okay? He's just not going to those kind of places. He's going to go somewhere where he has a shot at a title with an organization that can build a title winner, which obviously here in Miami, they can easily do that because they're talented enough as a front office. So the question is, who's going to challenge Miami now for Durant? And that's all that Brooklyn has to wait for now. And then somehow or another, they got to hope that Durant would be happy with it. But either way, they're going to end up disappointed because Durant doesn't want to be there either. The ball now is in Brooklyn's court, and the Heat slightly got a little more leverage with this move with Ayton. Not much, but a little bit. because they're the desired destination. I've told you many times over, you're going to have to trade Bam in order to make this happen. And somehow or another, I know that they say Durant wants to play with Bam. So it's almost like a game of chicken. Does Brooklyn put up with it and take the Heat deal? Does Brooklyn put up with it, or do they take the Heat deal? That's the question. Because the Heat knows that now they don't have to give up Bam, and they won't be giving up Bam. So now they're going to give you Tyler. They'll give you Duncan. They'll give you the 3 first-round picks. Maybe they'll throw in another young guy. Not Caleb, but they'll probably throw in another young guy. And yeah, okay, we'll give you those guys. Question is, can you find another team that Durant wants to go to so you can get a bigger haul in? Does he want to play in Toronto? Does Masai Ujiri really want to give that up? Because Toronto, Masai was also caught talking with, Sean Marks. So that's the thing. Is there a third team outside of Miami and Phoenix that he will then go to and they will accept that deal? That's now the game of chicken we're playing. We'll see who gives. And we'll see if Miami can win off of that one. All right, 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056 if you want to get in on the program. Where you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Don't forget about Nature B, a proud sponsor of our program. 27 vitamins and amino acids, 28 powerful antioxidants. And I know because I've been taking Nature B for 20 years now. I've been telling you about Nature B for 20 years now. And folks, right now you can buy 2 months, get the 3rd month for free and free shipping. Use the code Big O right now. No afternoon fade. So when you wake up in the morning and you're running out of gas after lunch and you're just kind of dragging till 5 o'clock, that won't happen with Nature B. You will have that pep in your step. You will have that energy. One of the things that I love about it, my favorite thing, it boosts my immune system. I rarely ever have a cold thanks to Nature B. And yeah, I'm vaccinated, I'm boosted, but in this virus-filled world, you want to protect yourself, and Nature B is a nice way of doing it. Plus, by the way, for you ladies out there, stronger nails. You will get smoother skin, fuller hair. Maybe that's why I've also got all this hair after 20 years of taking Nature B. Go to natureb.com and take advantage right now. You buy 2 months, you get the 3rd month for free, and you don't pay shipping. All you got to do is use the code Big O. Go to natureb.com. Feel the power of pollen that is potentiated, and that will allow your body to absorb it quickly. Great for the kids, great for the adults. natureb.com. All right, the Welton Rayom text line 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056. Actually, if you need a law office, bankruptcy, condo damage, criminal damage, commercial litigation, personal injury, that's when you call Welton Rayom at 954-966-4646. That's why I got the numbers confused, but yes, call them there. Big O, what's the names of your dogs? Flash, Ziggy, Maiden, Bono, and Flash, Ziggy, Maiden, Bono. Oh, and Ollie. There you go. That's it. Ollie is the short-haired Chihuahua. Flash is the long-haired Chihuahua. Ziggy is the oh God, I always forget the name of those little dogs. Teacup. Oh God. Anyway, Maiden is the mixed German Shepherd Boxer Terrier. Beautiful dog. And Bono is a Carolina dog. All right. And he's adorable, Bono. Mean some bitch, too, if he doesn't know you. Woo, doggy. Yeah. Ziggy, just like that cartoon comic. Kind of, yeah. Exactly. Ziggy is oh, damn it! I always forget the name of the. Why do I always forget the name of those dogs? I forgot now. It'll come to me later on. I got a black mouth cur puppy. I have no idea what that is. I have no idea. And they're all adopted too, by the way. So that's the other thing. Got 5 and they're all adopted. So there you go. We are more than happy with our doggies. I missed my doggies too while I was gone for 10 days. Obviously missed the wife and missed my daughter, but definitely missed the doggies. It's always fun to come home and hang out with the dogs. You know, they are the, you know, it's unconditional love when you have dogs. There's nothing like that. Alex says, I miss my dog so much. I don't have the heart to have another one. You'll get another one. You know, it's life. It sucks, man. My golden retriever, you know, Pegasus was an angel. And he was the sweetest dog in the world. I love him so much. I miss him every single day. I miss my dog so much, Pegasus, man. And, you know, it took us a while. It took us about 18 months till we got another dog. And then, you know, then we added another one. And because we had Pegasus alone. And before that, I had Wolfgang before that. And we lost Wolfgang, bro. So pissed. He snuck under the fence that we didn't realize there was a place that he can sneak under, and disappeared into the neighborhood, and we never saw him again. It's pissed me off, man. I still miss that dog. He's probably dead now, unfortunately, because it's been that many years. I hope whoever found him took care of him big time. Pissed me off. I didn't have one of those trackers on him like I have on all my dogs now. But yeah, you get attached to them. There's no doubt. They're like sons and daughters to us. That's how my wife and I treat our dogs. They're like kids. We care about them just like they're human beings practically. And by the way, most dogs are better than most human beings as it is. Hate to say it, but it's the truth. It's unconditional. It's loyal. It's pure love. It's awesome. Dogs are, to me, you know, they are the Lord's angels. That's what they are. And they make every home better. Any home that has a dog is a better home because of that dog. Because that dog will brighten everybody's day up at one point or another. And especially if you allow it to. You know, obviously, if you have a dog that all you're doing is keeping it in a corner and not paying attention to it and giving it any love, and, you know, that poor dog, you know, but if you give it love, it's going to give you love 80 times over. You cannot give a dog more love than it can give you. It's impossible. Impossible. And that's the beauty of a dog, is that they will return the love tenfold every single time. Yep. Dogs are the best. The Pet Rescue Center said it's waiving all adoption fees through August. That's awesome. My dog is smarter than a lot of people I know. Yeah, that's probably true, Sean. Flipper 13. Yes, Big O, preaching. Yes. By the way, we had something happen on the show right now, and I got to give it up to our guy, DJ Galaga, because I have my Galaga right here in the studio that DJ gave us. Can you see it from there? No, you can't see it. Damn it. But anyway, we have it's on the bottom of this row right here. That's it's whoa. Oh, I knocked Fiedler down. It's right under Marino, the DJ Galaga. DJ Galaga is the first listener ever to make a donation to the show in Bitcoin. How about that? Yeah. Thank you, DJ. Appreciate you. Because, you know, you guys all the time give donations on Cash App and Venmo to Cash Big O Show. But I always screw around with you guys and I say, you can also make a donation through Cash App on Bitcoin if you want. You want to send me a little Bitcoin or Ethereum? Go for it, man. I would love it. I don't mind. And DJ Galaga, yeah, baby. Thank you. Made a donation to the show in Bitcoin. So he's the first listener to make a donation in Bitcoin. I love it. Dropping that Bitcoin. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Franklin is right. Don't buy, adopt. Yes, please adopt dogs. Please adopt them. There's a lot of dogs out there, a lot of cats that need homes. And if you're a dog or cat person, there's nothing more satisfying than adopting a dog and saving its life. And really, it is the best. There's nothing like it. Let's see. Flipper 13 says Bitcoin. Maybe I can make a donation via newspaper subscription. Well, Flipper 13 Cash App right there, Cash Big O Show. You can make a Bitcoin donation if you want on the program. You know me, I'm a Bitcoin fan, that's for sure. I'm also a Cameron Wolf fan. So let's start off hour number 3 with our KSDT CPA Miami Dolphins report.
Welcome to Red Light Therapy, a revolutionary technology perfected by NASA to aid in muscle strengthening and recovery. Red and infrared light has the capacity to penetrate deep into the cell's mitochondria, potentially leading to increased energy, faster recovery, and the optimal performance your body demands. Train, fight, recover.
We unleash the Wolf Pack as we get the latest in the NFL and the Miami Dolphins with our KSDT CPA Pro Football Report with NFL Network insider Cameron Wolf. KSDT is one of South Florida's largest and one of the country's fastest growing accounting firms. KSDT CPA is a full-service firm that also excels in crypto. Visit them at ksdtcpa.com or call 305-670-3370. Here's NFL insider Cameron Wolf.
All righty. Bitcoin is soaring, dude, to 21,550. Ethereum is already, it's closing in on 1,400. It's at 1,367. I don't know what the hell is going on in the crypto market, but it is exploding, man. That is good news, man. I love to see that. There's a man always exploding on the scene. He is Cameron Wolf and our KSDT CPA, Miami Dolphins and NFL report. We will start on the NFL side. Cameron Wolf. So the Houston Texans now settle with 30 women. Good morning, sir. So the Houston Texans settle with 30 women. I would expect the league to do something about this because, you know, I know that sometimes you're not guilty when you're settling, but in this case, it only smells of guilt, my brother. So what do you read into all of this when you saw this story on Houston settling with not 20, not 22, not 24, not 28, but 30 women?
Man, it's just another episode in what's been like a sickening story all year. You know, once they started to bring the Texans into the loop of it, I knew there was going to be something to follow. And to see them settle, teams don't publicly settle very often. And when they do, it, you know, whether the Texas statement says it or not, it's some sort of admission that, hey, we don't want this to go any further. We don't want this to go to lawsuit, whether it's the discovery, whether it's just the dragging through the court situation, whatever the reasoning is, they don't want to go through it. And I think that, yeah, the NFL's got to look into it and see what the accusations towards the team were, and whether it's a fine, whether it's, take, I don't know what the punishment is from a team perspective for something of this, because it's not a football issue, but it's something that does need to be addressed. So this has been the stickiest case of the year, and now we've got a team involved in it too.
I mean, and it's 30 women too, so it's like this is an even bigger.
Yeah,
I mean,
30.
the number continues to grow, dude. I mean, it's like that's the crazy part on all of this.
Yeah,
so are those other two going to be added also to the Watson case? Because then, wow.
Right. So what we know right now is the Watson case has 4 women still pushing their cases through that did not settle with him, with a propensity to add more in the future if it comes about. And so they don't plan for those 4 cases unless something changes to be worked out in court until next spring. And so you're looking at a situation where unless something happens and those change, he's going to have those hanging over his head until next spring. And then we're going to have the conversation again once those cases go to litigation. So this is a never-ending story, just like the Watson trade story was never-ending. Now it's the legal cases. And like you said, 30 women for the Texans. Supposedly Deshaun, did these quote-unquote massages with 66 women per the New York Times report. And so, who says there isn't more? So I just think it's a story that's just so frustrating. Honestly, don't think it's got enough coverage, but it's also something where I don't enjoy talking about it because it's like it's sickening, honestly.
I was getting the impression
that,
you were missing it here for the Dolphins, that you wish you were covering that here with the Dolphins. You wish the Dolphins had signed.
No. That is one of the things I am very thankful for. I am very thankful. And I've told people in the Dolphins organization, I was like, hey, I know there was desire to get Deshaun, but I am appreciative as someone who lives here and has to cover this team probably more than any other team in the league that you guys did not, because it saves me from having to go on NFL Network day in and day out and talk about Deshaun and figure out how to tiptoe around and talk football while he has these big cloud of a legal situation and civil situation and all these accusations hovering over him. So I don't cover the Browns regularly, not saying I won't do it at some point this season, but it's somebody else's issue to talk about on a daily basis, which is a win for me.
Yes, I'm with you there. I don't know. I don't know if I spoke to you earlier in the week about this. From the BS department, did you believe Baker Mayfield when he said he had no animosity towards Cleveland?
You did not talk about that, but that is
with a straight face, by the way.
That is 10 out of 10 BS. Baker Mayfield, I can't wait for that post-game press conference. I hope he gives us the real him in that post-game press conference.
Win or lose.
They play the Browns.
By the way, win or lose.
Win or lose. I hope he has an epic rant, one that we're talking about for years and years. Like we had him where we had like a what was that? What was that rant? Was it Mike Singletary that went off? I can't coach with him. When he did talk about Vernon Davis, that was the epic one. And then was it Dennis Green when he talked about crown him? We let him off the hook. And then the Herm Edwards, the playoff one, right? Those are the 3 speeches I remember the most. I want Baker to join that group.
Oh, Jim Moore. We got to throw Jim Moore in there. Jim Moore. Playoffs. Jim Moore. Jim Moore's in there. He's got to be in there, bro.
Yep.
He's got to be in there. He's top 3, top 4, whatever.
He's definitely in there.
Yeah, we have to make it a Mount Rushmore since there's 4. So we have to throw Jim Moore in there. Because the other 3, it's hard to knock out any of the other 3. You know what I'm saying?
No, it is. Those are classics. Like some of these are like 15, 20 years ago, and we're still talking about them. So that's how you know they're classics. And I mean, there's a lot in football, but obviously Allen Iverson has the one in basketball, the practice.
Right.
That's the one everybody remembers in basketball. But you're right. I think that's the Mount Rushmore in football. I want Baker, to push his spot and try to form on that Mount Rushmore. He's got it in him. We've heard him talk. I want to see it unleashed. So
at least get to Aaron Rodgers relax level. That's at least get to that level and stir it up. A couple of years ago when he told everybody, relax, we'll be all right. And then they were in the NFC finals, I think, if I remember correctly, as he told them all to relax. All right. What are you expecting this week at Dolphins camp with the Rooks reporting? So it's good, bro. I know we will not be able to be there. So media is not allowed. Neither is the fans, but what are we kind of expecting?
Yeah. I think it'll be a lot of off-field stuff for the rookies. They go through rookie orientation. They'll bring in some former players and tell them how to look out for people who are going to try to take their money, family members, friends, women. They're going to get talks about the media. They're going to give them the whole presentation about how to not tell us anything, how they're going to try to screw you on this and that. They get all those talks. They'll get orientation. They'll tell them how to deal with the Hard Rock Casino, where to go, where not to go, all these different ins and outs of being an NFL player. They'll have a bunch of those orientations. They'll meet their position groups, and they'll probably start with some meetings. But I don't think it'll be a ton of on field stuff. And then next week they'll get integrated with the vets. So like you said, we won't be out there until Wednesday. Wednesday of the following week is when everybody comes together, and they'll have that first practice. And I'm expecting we'll hear from Mike McDaniel and probably Tua and some other guys, and they'll get things started. So we're almost there, Big O. We're almost there.
I know. By the way, KSDT not only does taxes personally or for your business, all kinds of advisory from healthcare advisory, property management, forensic accounting, and business valuation when it comes to tax, estate and gift tax, payroll issues, retirement planning, you name it, assurances, accounting services, assurance. They will take care of you. Make sure you reach out to them at 305-670-3370. And now locations in Dade, Broward, and now Palm Beach County. So we've got the entire South Florida area covered. Make sure you call the great people at KSDT CPAs and tell them that we sent you. I was talking with Omar about this, and we'll wrap it up with this. And he didn't think that most of these rookies are going to make much of an impact this year. And I think that Tyndall will be an impactful player on special teams early on. And I think in the second half of the season, I expect him to be a contributor as a linebacker and be a part of it. But the guy, and that's obvious. But the guy I'm intrigued about is Ezukanma. And what I told Omar is he's going to be one of the easier rookies to get prepared for. Why? Why do I say those things? Why do I say crazy things like he might be one of the easier rookies to prepare for? Well, that's because you have Waddle. That's because you have Tyreek. That's because you have Cedric Wilson. That's because you have Mike Gesicki. That's because you have Alex Ingold. That's because you have Mostert. That's because you have the Arizona kid? Damn it, Chase. So you got all these
Chase
guys
Edmonds,
that are going to help you in pass catching and everything else and running and everything. Ezukanma is not going to be given the whole playbook to learn. They're going to tell him, kid, we want you to learn only these 4, 8, 10 plays, and they're all about the same kind of running play or a diversion or a set of 2 or 3 different passing plays that he's going to learn, because he doesn't have to learn the whole route tree, because he doesn't have to carry the offense, because he's not necessarily a guy that is considered the focal point of the offense. He's going to be an easier guy and an intriguing guy to see develop because of the size that he brings to the table. Agree or disagree?
So I don't think he'll have a big role on the team, honestly, but I do think that you're right as far as a situational package, right? Because you're looking at a situation where you're going to play your top 3 receivers, Hill, Waddle, and Cedric Wilson a lot. Your de facto receiver, Mike Gesicki, is going to play a lot, as well as Durham Smythe. So you got 2 tight ends, really 1.5 tight ends. Gesicki's more of a receiver. And you got 3 receivers. So to me, he's your 4B receiver at best. So you're going to see him maybe. No.
Mostert and Chase will be catching passes too out of the backfield a hell of a lot more than Ezukanma. He's like 7.
But he's a receiver. Ezukanma's a receiver.
I'm just saying options. So, he's going to be like 7.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I know what you mean there. I'm talking about getting on the field. So he's got to get on the field. I think his first element on the field is going to be special teams. So he's going to be a special teams contributor. I think he's a gunner in college, so he'll have a chance to compete for that role here with the Dolphins. But I think most likely you'll see him in some of these red zone packages. You'll see him in sort of situations where they want to get big. But he's got to earn his way onto the field. So I have really low expectations for all the rookies because they don't have a first round pick, don't have a second round pick. I think for them, they all got to figure out how to get into the packages, get their way into special teams, and then earn their way onto the field. So
although Tyndall as a 3rd round linebacker, that's normal in the NFL. That linebackers are in the middle rounds and become everyday contributors. Actually,
yes, that is normal. But there's also 3rd round linebacker rookies who end up sitting on the bench all year. So I think he's got to earn it. And so I go into camp thinking that, hey, Jerome Baker, Landon Roberts, Sam Eguavoen are probably all going to be 3, at least those 3 ahead of him as inside linebackers in the rotation. So he's probably there with Duke Riley competing for the 4th spot. Now, can he pass Sam Eguilvon and get the third spot? Yeah, sure, he can. And Landon Roberts is probably going to be your starter on mostly rundowns and early downs. And, Jerome Baker's going to move around a lot. So, yeah, can he earn a role? But I don't think it'll be something that he gets initially.
All right, what are you working on the NFL Network so folks can check you out, my friend?
For this last week, I am working on hanging with my daughter for the weekend. But I think I told you last week I'm working on a 72 Dolphins project that'll come out sometime before the season that you guys will enjoy. And I'm going to be on NFL Network, NFL Now on Monday and Wednesday of this upcoming week. So we're going to preview training camp. I'll probably talk some Dolphins football. So from 1 to 3 p.m. Monday and Wednesday, you can catch me on air. And then starting the first week of training camp, I'm starting my training camp tour. And so I'm starting my tour in Jacksonville because they start off before anybody else on that Monday of that week. The Dolphins start on Wednesday, but I will be with the Dolphins that week. I'm not sure what days yet, but at least Friday and Saturday, and maybe all 4 days. We'll see.
All right, make sure you reveal that the Dolphins are going to the Super Bowl and winning it in Arizona also. Make sure you make that prediction there on.
I'm not selling that hopium, Big O. I'm not selling the hopium.
That's fine. All right. When we're in Arizona in February, you're going to have to look over to me and say, dude, you were right. And that's all. That's fine. It's all right.
Right.
It's all good. It's all good.
All right.
Enjoy the family. Follow them on Twitter.
If the Dolphins win the Super Bowl, we're going to be there in Arizona, and dinner's on me.
Oh, for sure dinner's on you. There's no doubt about that. I'm going to be collecting from dinner from a lot of people when it's all said and done. And I'll be getting some two apologies along the way, too, this year. I'm expecting a lot of –
You don't need an apology from me.
Not from you. Not from you.
You're like – apology from me. Yeah.
You're not going to feel the wrath, but there'll be others that will be feeling the wrath.
Right.
They will need to apologize. All right. Follow him on Twitter at Cameron Wolf. Catch his work whenever he appears there sometime in the next 10 days or something. NFL Network. And, of course, catch him twice a week doing his thing here at the KSDT CPA, Miami Dolphin, and NFL Report. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the family, my friend. Thank you. There you go. The Wolf Pack has been unleashed.
This has been the KSDT CPA Pro Football Report with NFL insider Cameron Wolf. KSDT is recognized by Forbes as one of the top tax accounting firms for 2022. KSDT CPA is a full-service firm that also excels in crypto. Visit them at ksdtcpa.com or call 305-670-3370.
All righty. Indeed says recently, hear me out, trading your roster for a superstar hasn't worked unless your LeBron is on your team. Lakers and Cavs won. Warriors didn't trade their roster. Bucks didn't trade their roster. But Warriors did add Durant to get to 2 titles. You did remember that, right? So they did add a star. Miami added Shaq and won a star. Added LeBron and Bosh and won 2. So adding a star works. Your example of Milwaukee doesn't mean jack shit. Do you know why? Milwaukee will never be able to do that. Why? They have to draft their stars. They're not going to get people to go to free agency over there. The only time they will get free agency is like what the Knicks are doing now. They have to overpay in order to bring somebody over because you're a bad team. So you will overpay for Brunson as a free agent, and you will overpay in a trade for Donovan Mitchell because you're a bad franchise. So that will not allow you to get to a championship when you're a bad franchise because you're forced to overpay. Or you're a franchise that isn't a destination. So Milwaukee landed a generational player in the draft, and that changed their lives. Just like San Antonio. Nobody's going to San Antonio, ever. Nobody's going to San Antonio ever. But if you draft them, now you're fine. So they drafted Duncan and they drafted obviously Robinson before that. So that changed their ways. They haven't drafted any more generational players. There hasn't been another Frenchman, right? They don't have another one. Now, they had the Murray kid, and they traded him right away. They just gave another kid now a 4-year, $80 million deal. He's a pretty good player, too. But you're a market that you're not going to be able to do it. But in Miami and Los Angeles, and, there's another destination or two. Phoenix has now become that for now, that they have turned their team, even though people don't like that owner, but their team is good and their front office is exceptional. So that has become a sexy destination. Brooklyn for a short time because they kind of had it going on there. The Knicks are not a destination. I don't care that the city is, but the Knicks aren't because of ownership and the mess that it is. So in Dade, you have to understand, some teams can build one way, other teams can build any way they want. So when you're in Milwaukee or Indiana or Detroit or San Antonio or Charlotte or Orlando, you only have one way. When you're in Miami or you're in LA or Golden State or Phoenix, you have multiple ways. You either draft a generational player, you can trade for a generational player, you can actually sign as a free agent a generational player. Why? Because when it comes to your city and your team, everybody wants to be a part of it. So you will get nobody disgruntled. You will get nobody to say, I don't want to be here. You won't get anybody to get tired of being there. None of that. Except if you're LeBron and you want to be an idiot. So in Dade, I understand what you're saying. The only problem is you're wrong because every situation is different. And comparing Milwaukee to Miami is like comparing apples and oranges. That's why they still only have one title. And that's because they were able to draft a generational player. They weren't ever going to sign one, and they weren't ever going to trade for one because they don't want to go to Milwaukee. So luck has it that the Greek Freak landed there, and that's why they have their title. So when you're Miami, listen, man, what Riley's doing, there's nothing to complain about. I can disagree with things that Riley does sometimes, whether it's Whiteside or whatever. There's been things that I have disagreed with. Giving Butler this long-term contract, giving Lowry this long. But in the end, he has done what's best for this franchise overall. In the end, for a quarter century, all you do is win overall. And you've won 3 titles, which is 3 more than a lot of other teams during that 25 years. Because we can probably name a shit ton of teams that haven't won 1 title in the last 25 years. And Miami's won 3. And they've been to the finals, 6, 7 times now? In the last 25 years. How many teams have made it to the finals 6 or 7 times? A handful of teams out of 30? What, the Spurs, the Lakers maybe? Who's been to the finals 6 times in the last 25 years? It's not a lot. The Warriors is the other one. Not a lot. Handful of teams. So none of us could ever complain about Riley. None of us, if you ever think Riley lost it or you got to fire him or whatever, you're a freaking moron. Okay? Let's just call it like you're dumb. You're stupid. Nobody complains about Riley. Nobody ever wants to fire Riley. Nobody wants to change. Nobody should ever say the game passed him by. None of that. Appreciate that the man is here. Appreciate that front office, that coaching staff. We can disagree. We can disagree with a rotational change of Spo. We can disagree with a signing that Riley made. We can disagree with a trade. But philosophically, overall, the results speak for themselves, and there is no argument. And we wish the Marlins were like that. We wish the Dolphins were like that. We wish the Panthers were like that. We wish Inter Miami is like that. I would love for all 5 pro teams to have 3 titles in the last 25 years. That's 15 titles out of 25 years. Sounds like a pretty damn good run. But there's only one team that's done that in 25 years, right? It's the Miami Heat. No one else. Marlins can't do it. Dolphins can't do it. Hey, Marlins have 2 titles. But those are the only 2 good years they've ever had. Outside of that, they've been a joke. He'd have never been a joke, never will be a joke under Pat Riley. They might have a little bit of a down year. Oh, I'm sorry. We're a bottom-seeded playoff team. They rarely are ever out of the playoffs. I mean, it's very Shula-esque. Very Shula-esque. 10-plus wins every year. You're always in the playoffs. You're always in the hunt. You always feel like you have a chance. Very Shula-esque. He actually topped Shula with a third title and more trips to the finals than Shula, but it's still very Shula-esque. So we can disagree with things, but we cannot disagree overall with the philosophical approach because it pays off. Hell, these people find talent without draft picks. Like, what the F? Never, ever, ever complain about the Miami Heat. We can disagree, but we can't complain. What else do we have? Rocking the shirt Tua would like. I don't know what that means. Tua, the like in the band. You need a roster to survive the regular season, not drive your stars into the ground. That's what you need is another star on this team. That's what they need. They got to get another star. The old school way always works. Build your team and add a superstar. If needed, like Golden State, you'll have more success longer than LeBron's method. Well, the LeBron method was fine. It was just LeBron being an asshole. I disagree with you there. LeBron left because he's an idiot. He would have won more titles staying here. Riley would have continued to build around him and would have figured it out. Now, here's the other thing that I keep mentioning to everybody, and people forget because most of you don't pay attention to this. LeBron and Bosh were assholes in this sense. They could have straight up signed with Miami. They forced the trade to keep their bird rights, and that forced the Heat to send multiple first rounders to those teams for years. They lost like 4 first rounders or something like that in these trades. And those idiots, greediness, because they wanted to keep the bird rights so they can keep their money. Instead, they could have signed for a contract and said, no, keep the picks so it can help us build and continue. So Bosh and LeBron hurt themselves just by coming over to Miami, by forcing the team you're coming over to give up first-round picks, ammunition to help you. And then at the end, LeBron then screws Riley over and leaves and decides after the moratorium, which hurt Riley on rebuilding that team. And Bosh, okay, on top of all of that, was ungrateful as hell because he left Toronto to come here and won 2 titles, but then he holds the Heat hostage by going to Houston and saying, well, if you want me to come back to Miami, you're going to have to pay me more. So that's how you pay the team that got you out of Toronto, put you in a situation to win 2 titles, so you hold them hostage for more money. Complete assholes. Okay? If those 2 guys came in the right way and stayed with the right attitude, they would have well, he developed a blood clot, so you couldn't do anything. But they would have eventually been able to overcome all of that, and they've been able to rebuild the team. They've gotten to the finals and to the Eastern Conference Finals. With LeBron throughout all these years, they would have been able to win another title or 2. So it wasn't Riley's fault. Riley has done nothing wrong. He continues to build and build around stars. But if your star's an asshole, like LeBron, okay, who's the most selfish NBA player in the history of the game off the court, can't help yourself. And then when you got Bosh, who's an ungrateful dude and selfish, you can't help yourself, dude. So it's part of it. If the players do their part along with the team, like San Antonio did, you can keep it going. Yeah, we'll take less for each other, keep it going, add some ancillary pieces around Parker, Ginobili, and Duncan, and we'll keep it going, right? They worked with the team. They kept it going. They had a dynasty. You want to be selfish, some bitches, you're not going to end up getting what you want out of it. If you want your money, if you want to go the mellow way, then get your effing money. So be careful when you lay blame on Pat Riley on all of that. Pat Riley was trying to do things to keep it going. Those guys constantly cock-blocked him. So, you just get to a point where, it's a lot of bullshit. And people don't really, they conveniently leave the facts out, and they forget about all the little other things that went into all these decisions, which could have made the situation a lot better. And yet LeBron effed it up, Bosch effed it up. They all could have, from beginning to the end. They made it worse on the team that was trying to create the platform for them to have long-term success. But since they were short-sighted, whatever, man. It is what it is. What are you going to do? Good luck to Inter today as they take on Charlotte. They're favored by half a goal. See if they can get it done with Alejandro Pozuelo making his debut tonight. All right. We are out of here. We thank all of you out there, as always, for keeping it locked. We thank Anthony Chang, Omar Kelly, Manny Navarro, Cameron Wolf. Of course, the man, the myth, the legend that masters this program every single day, Sean Stanley. Thank you, sir, as always. Thank all of you for tuning in and keeping it locked here. Appreciate you all out there. We will see you on Monday. Same time, same place, same bat channel. Love you all.